Hey, what's good, people? Whether it's an earbud at work, in between class, while you're working out, or sitting on your ass, I want to welcome you to the CharlieGtv Podcast. And we have a hell of a show lined up here for you today, all right? It's February 26th. You know what I mean? It's cold, but it could be colder. You know what I mean? I think we're on the tail end of this winter thing. You know what I mean? And we have a hell of a show lined up here for you today. We're talking about naturally aspirated engines versus, turbo infused, whatever turbocharged ones. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about manual versus automatic. We're talking about, you know what I mean, some mixed race relations things, you know what I'm saying? We going all the way there, man. We doing all of this and back. And, of course, Charles always has many headlines from around the world that are interesting. But before we get into all of that, I got to introduce the guest that I have here today. He is a car enthusiast. He is a tinkerer by nature. He is very good with his hands. And he's a bit of a ladies' man, whether he realizes that the ladies love the guy, right? All right? Listen, I call him Chubby Thor, but he's here to give more. And I want you guys to give some warm respect and welcome my guy back to the podcast, friend of the podcast, the one and only Jajo. Say what's up to the people.
Wow, what an entrance! I'm honored. I'm happy to be here.
Listen, make sure you follow him on the social medias. But if I could get it, maybe just Facebook. I don't know. He's a hard guy to reach. Man, you guys are just lucky that he's here, all right? So thank you for coming, man. I appreciate
Absolutely,
you,
I'm happy to be here, man.
100%. So we start every podcast with the watch this week, which I'm looking at mine and it's looking a little skimp. But we have the watch this week, which is it could be movies, it could be anime or a TV show, a YouTube video, or Instagram or Facebook reel. It could be anything. It could even be story time. You know what I mean? If something happened this week that's worthy of note to say to the people. You know what I mean? So what came across your consciousness this week that you want to relate to the people?
Something that I've been not watching this week, but being forced to watch in a lot of ways is a lot of like Facebook reels, things like that, of content that I have no interest in.
What, they're forcing it on you or
yeah,
something?
so Facebook specifically, they're great for this. I've been getting a lot of the gym girls. You know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm working out in my booty shorts and my tank top. Mm-hmm. Normally sweet.
They're trying to get you.
Yeah, normally sweet, right?
Mm-hmm,
but I'm trying to look at cars, whatever, welding, just stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know where I can go for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't need it on my Facebook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't need the trigger.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's, without going into it, making a whole topic, it's something I don't want to watch, that I'm being forced to watch because Facebook says, oh, you're a white male in the United States, under 35. This is what we think you'd like.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure. But again, I don't need it on Facebook, So just a little different spin, something I didn't want to watch, but I have been watching.
Exactly, yeah. So that's interesting because New York City on the last podcast, I was talking about how they're suing the social medias for mental health and things like that. I don't know if I agree with suing them, but I do agree that the social media is generally not doing the best for the mental health of the nation and the people engaged in it.
I would agree with that.
Because one of the major problems going on with men today that is not being addressed, like, no one cares about men's problems. That's all right. But porn addiction is a major problem, you know what I mean, in young men today. And the thing is that a lot of times these things on social media that's supposed to be a sexual site have let ladies go so close to that line that for some guys that are just trying to look at welding, look at car stuff, just trying to have a non-sexual moment on the internet, then all of a sudden they're triggered by some girl jiggling left and right, you know what I mean? And now all of a sudden they want to go ride the lotion, you know what I mean? They were just reminded they want to go on her bio, look for her Twitter link, look for her.
And it's always there. You're always going to get that link. There's always the link. The Twitter, the OF, the whatever.
Yeah.
It's always there.
Yeah, terrible.
And it's terrible. It's, whatever you want to, you're selling sex.
Exactly.
Sex sells. That's what it is. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
It's and again, coming from the car world, because that's just what I know the most. You see a lot of influencers pretending to working on a car,
but they're half naked or doing
they're doing something in their see-through leggings, right?
Oh my God.
Let me pick up this part or whatever, and they bend over, and it's like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, if that's what you want to be, an influencer or whatever, go ahead. I don't care.
Yeah.
But don't pretend you're doing something you're not. Don't be fake about it.
Yeah, but you as a car guy, you got to admit that excuse me, if you had this hot chick, right, who's willing to do what you said, and you could convince her to run a car enthusiast, like mechanic fixing up things, but as a girl, so you would just basically be telling her, all right, now you telling me put the brake line, but then you just explain it how I told you, all right, and then have her do it like she's an actor, and she's like, yeah, so like you just do this, and like jiggle around, like
If it meant I could get more car parts,
yeah,
yeah. I probably. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
More horsepower is expensive, you know.
That's
what I'm
right.
saying?
Horsepower is not cheap. This is true.
It's not cheap, you know what I mean? But nah, yeah, this is ridiculous how they sexualize things, oversex for no reason. You know what I mean? And but I do admit that it sells, you know what I mean? But I do my best as a content creator myself. I try to have some moral principles behind the content that I make. And I see these other content creators do it all the time where they just, and I've done it maybe once or twice, but I don't it's not a running thing where I don't like react or remix, because you know you can remix things online.
Yeah.
So these girls post themselves jiggling half naked, and then there's people that make some comedic thing about it, or they. But bottom line is they use the women jiggling half naked and they remix it, and then they like, oh God, ooh, I would do this, or they react like, oh, spit out their drink or something like that, or so, whatever you're doing. But the thing is, you're using the half naked chick to get the views, all right? So, and I know that would get more views, but at the same time, that's empty content to me.
Yeah.
And then I mean, mine's is a little bit of a slower route, but I think that my content will help open up the mind a little bit. Help. It's still some fun, some comedy in there every once in a while. You know, putting the medicine in the candy is how I put it. You know,
You have to.
But my ratio, I'm working on adding a little more candy to my, because the medicine comes in the pot. It comes naturally. You know what I'm saying? The comedy, I got to work on the skits, the stuff, the candy. I got to work on the candy. I got to get the ratio a little bit better. You know what I mean? But it's terrible what they do on Facebook. He's nearly not lying. You know, you're not lying, and they're doing the same thing on Instagram. I'm telling you. You know what I mean? My watch this week, I really, 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 really kind of don't really have one OD, you know what I'm saying? But if I had to think about something I watched this week, like the reason why I love this category is because it's not something that I'm supposed to have to program for real. You know what I mean? It's just supposed to be something that I watched this week. The problem is I didn't take a lot of time to watch anything. So I can give y'all what I actually watched. You know what I mean? I can give y'all what I watched. You know what I'm saying? It was a YouTube video on the state of what you call it, the social media right now. You know what I mean? So it's this guy right here. All right. So I guess I could recommend his YouTube channel. I guess his name is Henry Dominic. You know what I mean? And in this video, he was talking about how a lot of the social media is in an identity crisis. Like it's a hard time for creators right now because forget what you're doing. The sites are messing up. So there's new laws that are trying to be passed in certain areas to get social media to censor people. It's also an election year, so governments already put pressure on them to censor certain information spread in an election year, which Elon Musk revealed when he bought Twitter. He revealed how there was documents in that last election from the government asking Twitter to suppress some shit. You know what I mean? So Elon Musk pretty much revealed that is a thing that totally 100% exists and happens. The government asks. So it's an election year. So like I said, the algorithms in an election year are different. Then on top of that, we have the world wars going on. You know what I mean? Dealing with that. You know what I mean? So that's a little difficult. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, AI is disrupting everything, like almost every field of everything. So that the companies are trying to integrate AI, and they're also firing people. So like because of AI, so like they're reworking their business models right now to integrate AI and certain things like that. And that's so they're not running like it's normal. Like, you know, it's not like where they're doing a lot of changing right now, this stuff. And also he was talking about how TikTok is trying to become, and I've never thought about this. So TikTok is trying to break in to the long form video game.
Interesting.
TikTok started as shorts, whatever, basically was TikTok. And I noticed like a year ago, I want to say maybe half a year, they started letting you go from 1 minute to 3 minutes to 3 to 5 minutes. So now he was saying that they're incentivizing you to put 5 to 10 minute and landscape. So they're trying to really come for YouTube to a degree. You know what I mean? Now, I've wanted YouTube to have a competitor forever.
They need one
competitor.
Yes.
Because, dude, I'm tired of the censorship. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of them being the main. And I like Rumble, but Rumbles, these are a lot to be desired. Like, right now, as a person who's using shit to schedule stuff out, I would love like TikTok lets me schedule stuff. So TikTok wins over Rumble for me. I love Rumble. I want to invest in the Rumble, all these clips, but Rumble is something I would have to manually outside of my workflow go manually just upload and if they I don't know if they even let me schedule within Rumble to that. So it's like, whereas YouTube, I can schedule it out, even if they don't give me no views. It's like I do one time. I don't got to dedicate like straight to, so, and TikTok lets me schedule too. So, but I don't know, TikTok doing long form video. I heard what he said the problem is that the problem they're running into, according to him, which I could see being an issue, is that you, it's hard to monetize short form videos. Like,
Okay.
if a person's doing a 1 minute video, they can't really get an ad in. There's no mid roll. You can't really get an ad in. They're just doing the content and that's it. So sometimes they make the content is an ad, but that doesn't perform as well as having a 5 minute video with a 30-second ad in the middle of it that he's doing. Doesn't that performs way better than having a guy doing 101 minute videos and 3 of those 1 minute videos is an ad for your thing. You know what I mean? Like that, they'll scroll past that quickly and get to the next video. You know what I mean? So monetizing these 1 minute, 2 minute things isn't easy because I see it in the thing that they do it to me too. Sometimes I'm scrolling through my own feed. And I just want to see my shit, and they'll put an ad there, and I'll just scroll right past it and then right back to my shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, how could you sell something where it's like when you're selling it, the minute I don't like it, I'll just flick away. You know what I mean? So if it's an ad, I'm just flicking away. So they can't monetize that short form feed reel the way they can with long form videos where you're sunken in, you're sitting down, you're watching for 5 minutes. We got you hooked in for 2 minutes. We throw an ad, you're gonna stay through the 30-second ad because you want to get to the rest of the. So it's easier to advertise on that longer form than it is the short form. So for that reason, I guess but because of that, it sucks because the creators they don't know what they're doing. They don't whatever. The creators they don't know what they're up in because they're like I form my whole thing for short form. Now the platform I'm on wants long form, or vice versa. I'm on YouTube and I do long form. Now they want shorts. You know what I mean? So it's like every platform is like having an identity crisis. He was saying,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's true, and it's really true. They don't know what the fuck they want to be. You know what I mean? They don't because the lack of there's an ultimate lack of confidence happening here because everyone's afraid of the woke mob. Everyone's afraid of making a mistake. No one trusts their creative vision. Like even the people in the heads of these things. That's why they're doing all the scrambling around. Everyone's trying to copy everyone else.
Yeah.
Thinking that they got the answer, and everyone's copying everyone else. No one's actually just.
You're
like,
trying to do what the next guy's doing.
Yeah, and everyone's and that guy's trying to do what the next. So no one's actually leading the market. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
it's a bunch of just running in circles.
No one has confidence in it. They're just let me see. Oh God! So it's like that's what's happening. So it's just crazy.
100%.
You know,
I never thought of it like that too, because like you said, YouTube's long form. Now they're trying to get the short form market.
Yeah,
TikTok's the opposite. They made their market on short, and now they're trying to
get long.
Yeah, so I'm trying to eat out of your market value. You're trying to eat out of mine, and we're both just going to end up doing the same thing.
Yeah. YouTube's trying to do a TikTok thing, and now TikTok trying to do a YouTube thing. Like, why are we're trying to, I don't know. Because neither of us know what we want to be. That's the thing. Neither of us are. We're all. That's that grass is green on the other side. Shit. They ain't dealing with it on a massive.
100% what it is. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But anyway, let me look at the doc. Let me see it. My watch history was that guy. Go watch him. He was helping me really understand. Because sometimes you think as a young creator, you always want to blame the algorithm. Want to blame.
It's easy to blame
the
algorithm or
but when you're a young
else.
guy, you don't know if it's just you being a shitty video creator. So when you see he had examples of people complaining. Guy was like, "Oh, I had 100,000 followers on Instagram, and my reels were getting tens of thousands of views. Now my shit get 200 views, 300 views. What happened to the?" He was complaining and thing. He was like, "This is ridiculous." On an account that has 100,000 followers, this is like a slap in the face. He's like, "This is crazy." You know what I'm saying? He's like, "My videos haven't dropped in quality." You know what I mean? So why? His frustration, what he was feeling, was my exact same thing I was saying with YouTube. I was like, yo, in January, you give me 40,000 views. If you give me 30,000 views, my videos aren't getting worse. They're the same quality or better. You know what I mean? I'm getting better at. So why are my views going from thousands to literally like nothing? You know what I mean? Like make it make sense. Like that's ridiculous. Like that's not consistency. That's like your shit is broken, kind of. Like I don't know what's wrong. That's not. I understand. I'll take a shitty performance on a video, but for every video, when I got videos that do well on every platform, I got a couple videos because when I'm uploading, I can see a couple videos that like are just a good fucking video. It just does well on Pinterest. It did well on Twitter. It did well everywhere. It got into 103 digits. Some of it that it just did well. But on YouTube, 1 view, 0 view, and I'm like, oh, this thing this is obviously not a bad video. Like I got proof that it's not a shitty video because of how it's performing everywhere else. But y'all, you know what I mean? So I don't know. So I feel the frustration, and I'm just happy to be validated that other people that are way more established with 100,000 followers are still experiencing odd throttles in their view counts and inconsistency in the reach. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make sense. I can't because I know for a fact I was saying that when I had 500 followers, even though I kicked them all off, and I'm down to like I'm getting close to 300. I'm like, how the fuck can I have 20 views on a video, 30 views on a video, and have almost 500 followers? You can't be putting my shit in front of. You can't be pushing it the way like these people follow me, so they should see what I post, right? That's why they follow me, right? So if I post something, you should put it in front of them, right? Like, but they don't for some reason. I don't know why they don't. They don't. You gotta like pay for their like. I don't understand it. I don't understand it, and they keep acting like that you had a YouTube guy say, I try to get advice because I try to listen. You got to listen to them. But what he says is this. He says, don't think algorithm. He said, replace the word algorithm with audience. He said, don't think the algorithm didn't like it. Think the audience didn't like it. You know what I mean? Think audience, not algorithm. And I was like, all right, I'm trying to do that. But at the same time, it's like, I got many audiences that like this, like it's good content, and you're not like pushing it though. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and YouTube's a bitch because let me tell you something. I ain't gonna lie, I do boost Instagram videos every once in a while, like Instagram Reels. I don't
Mhm.
have the money to boost every. I post too. I don't got the money to boost every fucking reel. But the best ones I do boost every once in a while, and I could do that on Facebook, and I could do that on TikTok. Honestly, between the three, spend your money on TikTok and Facebook. They give you the best bang for your buck for advertising dollars. Instagram gives you the lowest bang for your buck for advertising. You know what I mean? So, and really between the three of them, if you had to pick one, do it on TikTok. Trust me. Trust me. Do it on TikTok. If you had to pick one, do it on TikTok. Just trust me on that. You know what I mean? Because TikTok is going to get you the views, and they go because look, you could pay. The way I look at it is like this: you could pay for views to a degree, like pay the platform to put your shit in, not paying some weird guy in Bangladesh, paying the platform to put them, but you can't pay them to like your video. You can't pay them to share it. You can't pay them to follow you. And if your content is good, that's what happens.
Mhm.
Because I've boosted shitty videos, because that's called, I used to do what I call emotional boosting, where it's like I posted 5 videos, 4 of them did well, one of them is struggling. I'm gonna boost the struggling video. So that way it matches up with the other 5 that are doing well. That's emotional boosting. That's me like, I'm doing well, one's fucking up. Oh, let me boost them too. Now we're doing good. As opposed to being like, no, that's a shitty video. You know what I mean? Compared to the other ones. Fuck that video. Boost the one that's doing the best. And when I did the opposite, that's how you get more bang for your buck. So when you boost a video that's already performing well, people already like it, they're already sharing it. If you give that video a little bit of love behind it, you'll get way because the people that it does show it to, they're more likely to like it because it's already a liked video. So I learned to put the money, but forget the losers and put the money behind the winners
Right.
because you'll get more bang for your buck. You boosting that. If you got a video that's great, already did 2,000 views by itself naturally, and you got a video that's shitty that only did 50 views, and you got $5 to spend, you putting that $5 behind that $50 video is only gonna get it to like what? At best 500 views, maybe 300, 600, somewhere around there. But if you put that same $5 behind this thing that already got 2,000 views, that shit might go to 5,000. I go to say, so what do you really want? You want the little a couple hundred views on a shitty video, or you want to take this video that's already great and put some legs on it and get even more likes, more subscribers, more because they're giving them great content. You know what I mean? So I that's my other advice. I said don't boost emotionally. Fuck the losers. The clip didn't win. Fuck it. Fuck it. The clip didn't win. Fuck it. Support. Look at the clips that did win and do more of that. You know what I mean? And to a degree, and and try to put money behind those. I would say. You know what I mean? But YouTube, unlike the other platforms, they don't let you. You get no boosting on YouTube.
No,
Well,
they're gonna push what they want. They're gonna push what's gonna make them. Said election season. I watched a lot of YouTube. Every other ad. Oh, vote for this candidate. Oh, this person's gonna do the best for you. I'm so sick and tired of it. It's end of February. I am so sick and tired of
only
it.
getting started.
It's only getting started. I can't stand it. I'm getting the texts already. I'm getting the ads.
Yep.
I can't stand it.
Yep, it's coming.
That's a whole nother beast, but I cannot stand it.
It's coming. It's that time. You know what I mean? But anyway, so let's get into the naturally aspirated versus turbocharged engines. All right. Now I have it in 5 categories or something like that. I got throttle response, reliability, fuel efficiency, power and torque, and predictability.
Okay. I gotta pull up my notes.
Yeah, I got notes on them too because I'm not a real car guy, but I did a little bit of. I pulled up an article or two, did a little bit of research to have enough to have a decided winner that I knew who I wanted to win,
Okay.
and the facts support who I wanted to win. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm totally behind it. You know what I mean? So I don't know which side you stand on it. So first of all, naturally aspirated versus turbocharged engines. Which camp do you generally sit in?
Typically, naturally aspirated, and that's more of a recent bias for me, for the simple fact that turbos are so damn good at making power,
Mm-hmm.
and they are so damn good at what they do that it's almost a cheat code.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to build a car that has a certain level of performance or speed, or you're going drag racing or whatever, slap a turbo on it and send it. That's been the formula for however long now. So I like the added challenge of trying to compete with inferior equipment, if you will, not having that cheat code.
Yeah.
But it depends. It depends on what kind of car, is it an old school car, new school car, daily driver, that kind of thing. So really, in general, naturally aspirated. But that doesn't. Turbos are great. Don't get me wrong.
Turbos are great, I'm sure. Yeah, and the only reason why I like turbos personally is because of the sound of turbos. I like the sound of I do like the sound of turbos. I like the sound profile, so I gotta admit that's a major reason.
Oh yeah,
but for me right now, I'm a broke boy. So as a broke boy, I can't afford for my car to break down. So because reliability and predictability really matter to me, those are the categories where naturally aspirated wins. You know what I mean? So if I'm going category by category, right? So, all right, throttle response. It says, if you've done your research, you'll know that the turbo charged engines lag before they reach peak torque. If you're starting at lower RPMs, exhaust gases aren't moving fast enough to spin the impeller that produces the boost pressure. If you exercise a bit of patience or keep your engine sped up, the response is more immediate at the right RPMs. But there's no lag whatsoever in naturally aspirated motor. You know what I mean? As far as like you the power coming the moment whereas you might take the turbo either a little bit of time. You know what I mean? So in that category of throttle response, you know what I mean? You ain't get with your power. You fuck with a V8 engine, an engine that's really like naturally all there. That gas pedal, you're instantly it's gonna give you everything it's got the moment you press it on it. Now ain't no ain't no spinning up nothing. It's gonna be right there.
That's true. The typical turbo car, your everyday commuter, even some performance cars, they have the lag. It has to get up to a certain RPM for the gases to move to spin the impeller. With that being said, anti-lag. They can tune the lag out. You can put anti-lag in it, so that
or you can maybe launch the car, put a launch preparation. Maybe
you could do that too, depending on what you were doing. Yeah. But that's definitely something that can be overcome pretty easily, depending on again your application. If it's just your everyday car
But
that
if
you're
it's a
driving.
drag racing setup or certain,
If it's something, yeah,
it's something
yeah.
you could tune out.
For
You could tune out.
performance, you could tune it out. Yep, you can get it to where it's not going to lag. At some, I mean, if extreme cases at all, you can almost get it right away.
Mm.
But for the most part, you can mitigate it. So it's not as big of an issue as you know it used to be, so to speak.
All right.
You know.
All right. Now, what about now reliability? The next
Mhm.
category. You know what I mean? It says whenever maintenance and reliability come up, a simpler system will often be more reliable and easier to maintain. Fewer parts mean fewer things to worry about. Naturally aspirated cars are simpler than turbocharged motor. You know what I mean? So it's generally more reliable and probably
Yeah,
cheaper repairs.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Short answer, yeah.
Yeah.
Short answer, yeah. Your turbos. I mean, the technology now in turbos have caught up. You know,
You feel like turbos get more and more reliable?
100%, 100%. I mean, it's like with any technology. Think of when the car was created.
Yeah.
The first 30 years the car was created versus the past 30 years, it's night and day. So turbos are no different.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of used to be a 4-letter word to a lot of people. Uh, you know, and even still some now, some older guys.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as just general, you know, reliability and predictability, yeah, an NA engine is gonna usually win because less parts. Those impellers are spinning tens of thousands of revolutions per minute,
Yeah.
and
It'll
you
wear
know,
out faster.
yeah, it's very possible they wear out faster. You've got you know, oiling systems in that too. So a lot of things that could go wrong with them, but the technology has it's night and day. It's come far and above where it was even 5-10 years ago.
Yeah.
So you know, now you can most cars are turbocharged now.
They are because I'm gonna tell you why. Because we're pushing towards making greener
Yep.
cars, and that's the next category, and that's where turbochargers win. So it says, here's where turbocharged motors can win over the naturally aspirated in a very simple way. And however, let's compare the turbocharged 1.5 liter producing 2.4 with the naturally aspirated power. Basically, what it's saying is this: when it's calling for that power that you need for the car, that's when the turbos spin up. But when the car is not calling for that much power, you are then running a smaller engine. You know what I mean? That doesn't, as opposed to a naturally aspirated engine that is bigger, whether you're calling for that power or not, that big ass engine is running.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the turbo's ability to spin down and spin up according to power needs is like, that's like how the Apple cores and their chips got like power efficiency cores and then performance cores. You know what I mean? Look at the turbo engines are like performance cores. When you're doing high intensity shit, then they kick on. You know what I mean? But the engine, because it's smaller, it could do the normal driving around for the most part. Unless you got to jam on a gate, get that exit, get a fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean that's
So
that
fuel
you,
efficiency.
yeah, you hit it on the head. I mean turbocharged engines, uh, you know, pound for pound, stock for stock, if you will. They're gonna have better, you know, miles per gallon. A good example that I like to bring up, just because something I'm fairly familiar with, is F-150s, right? So they have a few different options. They've got
Okay.
a 2.7 liter twin turbocharged. They have a 3.5 liter twin turbocharged, and then they have the 5 liter, the Coyote. So
The 5 liters had the V8.
that's the V8, yeah, the NA V8. Yep.
Which one? No money, no option. Which
Yeah.
one would you get?
Oh man, on a brand new truck, I would probably go the 3.5 liter.
With that V8.
No, I would actually, I
turbo?
would, yeah, the turbo. I would,
Okay.
I would skip the V8 on the brand new one simply because you get very similar power, you get very similar torque, um, and you get semi comparable towing
Yeah.
in the same truck,
Body.
right? But I'm
Less
getting
gas.
better gas mileage, you know, and that's something that a lot of people think about is the gas mileage.
Yeah, especially with the big ass pickup trucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I can tow with theoretically, realistically, any 3 of those engines. The 2.7, I just throw it away. I just throw it away.
Throw it away.
Throw it away. The 3.5 liter, the bigger twin turbocharged, that's now Ford's like top of the line engine for the F-150s. They put it, for the most part, you know, there's
In their top trims.
they put it in the top trims. That's almost the standard now with the top trims. Then the Coyote, the 5-liter V8
Yeah.
is right there.
Yeah.
But it's right there in performance, but I can get better gas mileage. Yeah, I'll take it. But if you asked me something from 20 years ago, I'm gonna go naturally aspirated, and I'm gonna go V8.
Yep.
You know,
All
so it
right,
just
so maybe
depends.
that technology really has improved. I guess where
Hmm
they're closing that gap a little bit with the reliability and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Another category they have here is excuse me, predictability. Predictability. I guess this more goes to oh no. Oh no. That next one is actually power and torque, which is where the turbochargers also win. You know what I mean? Because like you said, pound for pound, power for power. If you want maximum power per pound with your car, the turbo engines is the way to go. You know, what I mean, the turbos just can't beat it. Its ability to increase pressure and make more power, and like that's literally its
Yeah,
whole job. You know what I
that's
mean?
its entire job.
Its
Yeah,
entire job.
is to
Yeah.
cram more air into the smaller engine, and
Yep.
that's what they're for. It's for efficiency. And that's the other thing is turbo engines are very efficient because they run on the exhaust gas.
Mm.
So all that gas you would be wasting, out of a naturally aspirated motor is now being recycled to create additional power for the motor.
Uh,
Yes, I mean it's
it's kind of
power
cool.
power and torque is definitely it's
Although
there.
last thing I'll say is that some company, I forgot which one, they were going back to, they had done the turbochargers a lot of, but they're going back to naturally aspirated because they were like, there's engineering challenges. It's more challenging engineering to a degree to try to make that naturally aspirated engine as fuel efficient, but it's a more perfect thing. I don't know how they explain it. It was like it's more satisfying as an engineer. You know what I mean? To a degree. You know what I mean? To make this one system
Yeah.
that runs just as
Yeah.
opposed to this would have to add this little. It's not as satisfying to pull off. You know what I mean? So and they are and the engineering is getting to the point where they are getting better, where there are now naturally aspirated engines that they're working on that can give you comparable power per square. Like it's not that far off, and the extra reliability you get because it's still a simpler system because it's all together. And that to me is actually pushing engineering forward more than turbo does. Even though once again you're improving the turbo, so that still improves it, but a singular system is always going to be better to me. You know what I mean? Like still, like even though can't beat the sound of them turbos, man. You love the sound of those turbos, bro.
I'll say the one thing that beats the sound of any turbo engine is going to be just an old school big block V8. And I know that's not the conversation.
The V8 cold start.
Yeah.
That cold start.
There's nothing better. No one will ever change my mind. There's nothing better than turning a key on a big cubic inch old school V8 and it just thumping you in the chest as the cam's rolling around. It just feels like someone's taking a drumstick to your chest.
Hell yeah.
There's nothing better than
you go feel the power in that mother.
You literally feel it.
And the rumble, the depth that you don't get that out of a turbo engine. You get all the high end. You get all the high end, you get all of that, but none of that. Just sounded like a fucking dragon at the fucking.
Right. I mean, and again, unless you go turbo V8,
which is a fucking. What are you doing?
That's why.
What are you doing?
But that's. I mean, and again, old school cars and drag racing is my thing, right? That's my bag. So that's what I'm always gonna go back to.
A turbocharged V8 is
the cheat code to drag racing right now is 5.3. It's a Chevy V8, LS, for those that know, with 1 or 2 turbos. You got dudes, I mean, there's hundreds of videos on YouTube. Guy goes and pulls one out of an old Suburban, throws it in a car, slaps an eBay turbo on it, and he's down the track like nothing. That's the cheat code right now.
Oh, my God.
A modern V8 with a turbo on it. So you're getting best of both worlds at that point, if you ask mine.
You get that natural power, and then you hit it with that extra oomph on top.
Yeah.
It's fucking steroids for cars, really what it is, man. It's performance enhancing
100%
engineering.
I love it.
Yeah. But anyway, so the next category we have up here. So honestly, between the two, I still say naturally aspirated wins, you know what I'm saying? But turbocharged is giving a big run for its money, and it's coming neck and neck. You know what I mean? But personally, I'm still giving it to naturally aspirated. How you feel about it?
Can I split it?
Want to split it? You going
So
turbocharged?
I'm going modern cars, new cars,
Yeah,
turbo.
turbo.
Older cars, old schools, classics, that kind of thing, naturally aspirated.
All right,
I think
all
it's they to me, they both have an even amount of pros and cons.
I say post like pre 2015, 2014 maybe. What's the cutoff year for that you would then go turbo over? Would you say?
I would say, yeah, probably like mid-teens, like 2015,
That's what I feel. That's what I
2016.
feel like they would,
Mm-hmm.
because they did it first in the early tens, but
Yeah.
then they finally got a little bit better.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
I
mean?
would say anything post 2015 for me personally. And
Gotta
this,
go turbo.
yeah, I gotta say turbo. Everything's
All
caught
right.
up. Before that, naturally aspirated for the
Fair
most
enough.
part. Yeah,
Fair enough. I feel about the same mostly, except honestly, I probably would always want to go naturally just
yeah,
because it's a simpler system.
it is. It's more
I like
simple.
it more, and I like reliability
Mhm.
because I don't know. I still want to one day buy like a really good, nice made car from 0 miles and just keep that bitch for 20 years. I really do want to just
That'd be nice.
have that shit
That
riding
would be
around,
great.
just like get the oil changes, get
Yeah.
the transmission flushes, and just
Yeah.
like really test the engineering of that car.
Yeah.
Get a nice garage for it.
I'll tell you
You
what,
know
if
what I
you're gonna
mean?
do it, Toyota,
Yeah,
100%,
yeah, 100%,
100%.
100%.
They had, I forget when, but they had, I want to say it was a Tacoma. It doesn't matter. One of their engines went over 1,000,000 miles.
Yeah,
Motor, transmission. Toyota bought it back from the
yep,
person who bought it.
yep.
Toyota.
Just so they can study it and learn
Yeah.
more than and see how I made it.
100%.
You know what I mean? Because that's a feat of engineering right
It's
there.
insane.
It's crazy. It's a lot of miles.
Toyota's on other shit. When it comes to making cars, they're on some other shit.
That's why the next car I'm planning to buy is gonna be a Toyota
Yeah.
Camry. It's not fancy. I'm not getting it because it's fancy. I'm not getting it because it's flashy. I ain't getting it because it's fast. I'm getting it because it's a Toyota Camry, and I'm betting that it's not gonna give me too much trouble
No.
maintenance wise. I'm betting, Toyota Camry at around 150,000, 160,000 miles. Got a lot of life left in it.
100%. That
Yeah.
that Toyota fucking Camry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna be mad because the thing won't die.
Exactly.
Like
yeah.
if you would just die already,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have this problem.
But for right now, that reliability is attractive as hell to me.
It's
You know
for
what I
for
mean?
anybody that it's not attractive to me personally. I think you're an idiot.
Yeah, I'm not at that level yet.
If you're Jay Leno, if you're Tim, you know what I mean, then whatever. You got more money in cars,
Yeah.
you know what to do with. But for who wants to have issues, who enjoys, oh, I'm gonna go to work today. Let me see if the car will start.
The most reliable, nice car that I know of that I would get, like if I was like, no money matters, you know what I mean? Honestly, I'm gonna go with the Porsche 911. You know what I mean? Just because
those are sexy cars.
Just because they've refined that car, I believe I could get a naturally aspirated engine in that car, and the handling is good in that car. That car is just good at being a car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not trying to do too much.
It knows what it's good at.
It knows what it is. You know what I mean? And it's just been refined over the years. And I think it's going to be one of the most reliable luxury cars I could probably buy. I feel like, you know what I mean? Because if I had, I don't know which car's more reliable than a Porsche, and at that price level.
I'd put a Lexus up against it.
You'd put
Lexus
once again is made by Toyota.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? All right.
It's call it cheating if you will, but
nice ass Lexus.
Lexus is a luxury brand.
You're right.
Made by Toyota. It's gonna have. They share a lot of the engineering, the parts, all that. I'm going Lexus.
You're right.
I'm going Lexus.
You're right. Lexus would be the most. You're right. You can't beat that.
And you're not paying 911 prices for a Lexus.
You're right. You're right. That too. Yeah, and no one's gonna come and probably steal your Lexus a little less likely. They might come try to. Your Porsche might be on blocks or something. You know, they might come fuck with your Porsche.
No, they ain't leaving nothing. They're taking the blocks. They're taking everything. They're taking it all.
But that Lexus IS, even if you get like one of the sport ones, you know what I mean. So you get sort of the form factor of a, you know what I mean, like little, but the reliability, because some of those I forgot what they're called. Those Lexus, they look sexy as hell, and they're fast as fuck.
Yeah,
they are fast as fuck, and they are still made by Toyota, so they're reliable. You know what I mean? So yeah, so I fuck with it. All right, so here's one where I disagree with you, and I already know I disagree with you on it because you disappointed the hell out of me.
Oh no,
you disappointed the hell out of me with it, especially in video games. In real life, I could kind of agree with you.
Okay.
But in video games, I'm like, nah, you bugging, B. And that is manual versus automatic transmissions. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Why don't you should give your stance on that? Because you tell the people.
So automatic versus manual. I'm going automatic all day, every day. For one, we live in a fucking city. All right. I'm not trying to clutch in and out and do all this bullshit just to get home from work every day. Manuals are fun. You know, it's more driver interaction. People, I'm more connected to the car, whatever. Automatics are faster. Automatics are always going to be faster. They're a faster, easier to use system, in my opinion. That's why drag racers, for the most part, use automatics, unless they are specifically racing in a stick shift class or they just like stick shift, whatever. Uh, Stick shifts tend to be simpler on the inside, so
More reliable.
yeah.
Less costly to replace.
But I mean, even now, it's almost negligible. Automatic versus stick. I'm going automatic every day, all day. I don't want to deal with it on the drive home or to from work or whatever. I'm at the track and everything's the same. Car A and car B, everything's the same. The automatic is gonna win. It's going to win. I know so. It's going to win. No human is shifting faster than a computer and an automatic system. It's not going to happen.
All right. But what about in a video game? Now, purely for fun. Now, driving a car in a video game like Forza specifically around those little corners with just the brake and the gas is not as fun as shifting gears around those corners.
I'll agree with you on that
in
one.
Video, see, in real life, honestly, I'll be like, man, fuck that manual shit in real life. I ain't trying to do all of that shit in real life. I'm waking up in the morning, I'm tired, I gotta fucking fuck with that. Fuck that. I'm gonna punch through a windshield.
No, you're getting leg day.
I can't.
You're getting leg day.
Yeah, I can't fucking deal with that shit.
No, in a video game, Forza, whatever. Yeah, I'll fuck around with a manual. I'll even the clutch. Yeah. I'll set it to the hard difficulty. Whatever. It's more fun.
Video games is way more fun.
It's true. I mean, I've raced manual cars. I've raced automatic cars. For the most part, I've had more fun in the manual car, even though I was slower.
Yeah.
Because I was doing more than just operating the pedals. And moving. So a manual, you could definitely say, "Oh, it's more fun."
It's
because
more fun.
There's more interaction. There's
like
more
I want
to
own a manual car one.
Yeah,
I do, but it's not gonna be my daily driver.
No,
it's gonna be my let's have fun.
Yes.
And be annoyed today with it.
It's the weekend.
And then
car.
when I get back in the I'm like, thank God I don't have to drive this every day. Annoying as shit.
Yeah, no,
because
for sure.
If you're a little smiz, I'm just saying, listen, don't drive any, but I'm just saying. If you're a little smiz or you smoke a little weed, you got to get in the car and deal with that.
Look, nobody's getting a manual sauced up talking about I'm going to hit every gear. You're going to look like a goofball.
But let me tell you something, though. I do like it for its anti-theft because almost no one can drive a manual these days. Yeah. So if you're going in the hood, go ahead and you park your manual out. So it could be anything you want.
Leave the keys in it and the windows down. Nobody's stealing that.
They're going to hop in it and try to get it like,
they're gonna go.
Never mind.
Oh, let me just hit the next one. There's one over there. It looks good.
Yeah. There was a famous video of this lady calling the cops on these guys that couldn't get down the block with a man they're doing their best to steal the shit. Like, yeah, they're right there. The manual car. These young punks do not know how to drive a fucking manual.
No, that's one thing. I think people should know how to drive manuals.
And the funny thing is that even if you fuck up the clutch and stuff, it's not that expensive to replace.
No, not really.
So you could get it, fuck it up learning, replace it, and then do what, and then that new one can last you stupid long. You know what I mean? For how for like the transmission manual, I could probably outlast the engine most times. You know what I mean? You probably have to unless I don't know. Depends on you. You got some really baby engine. 4 cylinders.
Unless it's a Toyota.
And that's the thing, though. Like Honda makes better engines, but
I would think so.
Still, Toyota engines here's my. I've driven a Toyota, I've owned a Toyota, and I've owned a Honda. And my personal opinion of the two is that Hondas look better. They win the design. Hondas will look better than Toyotas. Hondas have stronger engines and have a better driving experience than Toyotas, in my opinion. But Toyotas win with the reliability and the smoothness of the smooth and the longevity of the engine. That's another thing I forgot to bring up that I heard a guy complain about with the new Lexuses. He was like how his wife had an older Lexus that was naturally aspirated, and the newer one she has switched to has turbo engines, and the smoothness of the ride and acceleration. You have a lot more predictable, smooth ride in a naturally ass. He said the turbo, it's like
the curve is a lot smoother.
The turbo is like a little more jolty a little bit. You know what I mean? It could be driving. I don't know. I'm just saying the turbo kick as opposed to the naturally aspirated is a smoother, more predictable, more luxury experience, low key. You know what I mean?
I could see
the
that.
turbo is more torquey. It's more, it's less smooth. You know what I mean? I don't know how to put how you put. He's like, they're better if you're like an old person. He's like, you're an old person. You don't want the speed. You want to be nice and drive to the grocery store. You don't want the.
Well, that's why those Cadillacs had 37-liter V8s. Some ridiculous giant thing in these land yachts. Because it was old folks buying them. Yeah. They knew who their demographic was.
Yeah, you choosing automatic over manual.
100%. You'll never convince me otherwise.
You know the real best choice, in my opinion, the real best choice? Shiftable automatic, baby. Now you're winning the game. Now you're winning 100%. You want to get fun with it? You flick that little thing over, do your little, want to get fun with it for a second, you know what I mean? Traffic comes out, fuck it, flick it back over again in automatic.
I'll tell you what the real winner is, paddle shifts on a steering wheel.
Yeah.
Paddle shifts are fun.
That make it a lot.
But
they have, the other thing is that they have, I wonder which one, because there's an in-between one. What is that? So they got fully manual where you got a clutch and the thing, but they do have a transmission where like there's no clutch, but it's like you do still got to shift it, but it's not automatic. You know what I mean? Where they take the clutch out, kind of. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah,
but that exists. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. So that's oh my god, what are they called? Dog boxes. It's that and straight cut gears. So basically, all you're really doing is a lot of them still have clutches, but you don't have to necessarily use them once you get going.
Yeah,
you can just lift off the throttle a little bit and just basically slam it into the next gear.
Yeah.
And it's more violent.
Yeah.
It's not something you'd want in your commuter car.
Oh, you're talking about, I remember you were talking about, this is the straight transmit. I forgot you were talking about a straight
cut gears.
Yeah. It was like straight. It was like a one big stick. I remember you showing me, you fucking crank that bitch.
You're talking about sequential.
Yeah, the sequential.
Yeah, so you're going the same direction.
Yeah.
It's more violent.
Yeah.
It's not a luxury experience. It's not a comfortable experience. That's something you're doing for quickness of shift.
Yeah.
You're doing that for performance.
Terrible.
Not comfortable at all.
No, that I don't want a hard shift in my car. I dealt with that in my first car. You know what I mean? Every time I went into second gear, getting a second every time. Boy, but that motherfucker lasted 10,000 miles of beautiful times. You know what I mean? All right, so next one here, right? All right, so is he white? Is he Middle Eastern? Is he Aquaman? What the hell are you, Jajo? How do you see yourself, man? You know what I mean? Because how do you feel about it? First of all, what are you really genetic? So what are you? What the fuck's going on here?
Right, this genetic soup that is me. So my dad comes straight from Iraq, off the boat, if you will, right? And so Chaldean on that side. The other half, my mom's side, a lot of German, a lot of German, but a lot of the whole how most white folks are. It's just kind of a mix of European and whatever. Yeah. So I'm sure I got a lot of that going on too. Yeah. How I see myself is, I guess for the most part, just like a regular white dude. Yeah. I mean, I don't really consider myself Middle Eastern, or anything like that for the most part. Because I don't look it, right? Yeah. I don't look it. I don't come from a very heavily influenced background of it.
Yeah.
Now that's
Allah, Allah,
right.
Allah.
No,
although Chaldean is actually Christian,
right,
thing, so it's not the
right.
same.
Yeah, not quite the
It's not
same.
Muslim Middle Eastern.
No,
It's
it's a
Christian
little,
Middle
little
Eastern.
different. Little different.
Canceled.
You're done. You're done. I'm out of here. I'm telling everybody.
Nah.
All right. No, it's it's interesting because I feel like I've gotten the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
They say a white male has it the best, right?
Yeah.
Typically,
Yeah.
with opportunities, whatever.
There's the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, and I feel like I've benefited from that because I mean that's whether you like it or not, that's true.
Yeah, and he gets to not burn in the sun.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get a hell of a tan in the summer. I look damn good in the summer.
Yeah.
Darken the skin up a little bit.
I was telling my buddy about this podcast.
Yeah,
and he made this joke, so I give Trevor. He gonna be on here a couple weeks later. I give him credit for the joke. Terrible joke. It'll get me canceled.
I love it.
I'm gonna say it anyway.
I love terrible.
So he said, "So your buddy is Iranian or has a Middle Eastern and German?" He was like, "So he really, really doesn't like Jews."
Oh no!
Wait! No. That's fucked up joke, but it was good.
No, you know what?
No, I'm just.
They're wonderful people.
They're wonderful.
I like everybody.
Yeah, wonderful
all right,
people.
it's not like. Look, I've lost too many wars. No, I'm kidding. No, it's really my story is not interesting. It's not an interesting one.
No.
I was born here. You know what I mean? I was born here. My whole family was, except for my dad.
Yeah.
I was brought up like just a normal kid. Like I never, I never really got a ton of shit about it. When we went into Iraq or whatever back, what was that? Early 2000s, whatever that was, to go after Saddam Hussein and the fake weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
I caught strays every once in a while.
Yeah.
Somebody who knew would be like, oh, whatever, and they make some dumb joke.
Yeah.
And I never really thought anything of it.
Yeah.
But my dad he's the one with the stories. He's the interesting one.
Yeah.
He got fucked with a lot.
I'm sure you probably is more presenting on that side.
100%. Well, because he is. He's 100%.
Yeah.
I look like my mom. The lighter skin, the blue eyes, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't look like my dad. I don't have the real dark hair.
Yeah.
I don't have the dark eyes. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got messed with a lot. He told me stories.
I imagine because I've seen a little bit of it when I was in New York after 9/11.
I can't imagine how it was.
I've seen stuff and people saying stuff. I've seen it towards them, because whatever, the American thing, whatever. It's at the time. The whole media is demonizing them. Also, they get the worst stuff. So they always do that with whoever you're going to war with. So it's a little propaganda too. So succumbing to that, you know what I mean. Same thing happened with the Asians when COVID happened. It was like, y'all did this. Y'all did y'all lab. It's y'all fault. And they started experiencing some stuff after that.
Yeah, it was everybody's the same.
Exactly.
And, all that crap.
Rice is rice. Now I'm playing
on a roll.
I'm just kidding.
Last episode ever.
For sure.
Nah, his I mean, even him coming over here it wasn't like he didn't choose to come here at first.
But do you feel like I wanted to ask you which side do you feel like? Do you feel like if you was just trying to like blend in with the German side, they would give you any shit over there? And which side is more accepting of you?
I would say the my mom's side, the white side, if you will.
They're more accepting than the Chaldean Middle Eastern side.
In my personal experience, I would say if I was gonna walk into a room of either full Middle Eastern Chaldean folks or just your average like white person who's from has a lot of European mixed in, whatever. I'm picking the second one. I'm going into the
white people,
the white people.
Makes sense.
Because I people judge a lot on looks.
They do.
It's true whether you know it or not.
It is true. It doesn't matter.
So I'm gonna get looked at funny walking into the Middle East room because they're like, "Hey, you don't look like us. Who's this guy?"
Yeah.
If I walk into the other room, it's just another dude. And then I blend in, like I'm not even there.
I wonder about that a lot of times. You know what I mean? Because my brother right now, he's doing something where like he's going like heavy in the Muslim direction.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And he's in like these mosques
Yeah.
and with the praying with the stuff. You know what I mean? And is a lot in my mind. Is a lot of Middle Eastern demographic there, and my brother's a lighter skin. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
he's like maybe just like a couple shades darker than you. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
he's not like full brother up in there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And
Right.
and his beard kind of helps him a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He could maybe kind of blend in. He gotta blend a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like as much as I might be open minded to certain things, I wonder like if the place you're going to worship at, you're going to pray at, these are people that none of them are like. There's no black people there really for real. Like there's like very little. So you're going to pray amongst the culture of people that aren't. So I do worry about that. Worry about like racism, or worry about it looking at you weird. But he says it's very accepting. He says
That's good.
There's been no problem.
Yeah.
Which would you would hope would be in a religious environment. You know,
You would
hope,
like to think
you
so.
would like think so. You'll be accepting and loving.
Looking at the Christians.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I've seen both. I've seen honestly, family members on that side, the Middle Eastern side, where they're cool, they're accepting of, whoever. I mean, there's a lot of my extended family, my dad's side, that still to this day does not like that my dad married a white woman. They just look at it and they go, "Oh, he married outside of our people. He married a different type of person. He married a white woman."
They're more mad at. So which side is more mad at the other side? Which family is more mad? Are the Germans more mad that you mess with the dirty Middle Easterners? All right. Oh, the Middle East is more mad that you mess with the dirty porcelain lady. All right. Like,
I think it's that one. I really do. In my case, I think it's that one. I think it's the Middle Eastern side is less happy that he found somebody that he wanted to spend the rest of his life with that didn't look the same as them, that didn't have the same belief system as them.
Yeah.
That was a different people than them.
Yeah.
And, it's caused problems, but.
The reason I imagine it, when I'm thinking about it, culturally, it kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because in my mind, the Middle Eastern people, the Chaldean people, versus the German people, if I'm picking which one's more family oriented, more traditionally minded, I'm picking Middle Eastern all day. They're probably way more family oriented, way more traditionally minded in that way. Whereas the European mindset is always more, I feel like, more individualistic, like more like, to a degree, you could call it open mind. It is more open minded to a degree, but like it's also, I don't know, it lacks standards to some degree. You know what I mean? Like it allows for a lot of little too much freedom.
Yeah,
sometimes.
No,
I mean?
I think you're probably you're on the right track.
So I can see why them with the more traditional feeling,
it's
the
very
more
traditional.
The more with so that I can see that. Whereas the West, hey, living there's a little more liberalism on that side. Psychologically,
yep,
a little more freeing on the European psychologically.
Speaking like in a modern sense, absolutely. Yeah. I would say there's a lot of traditionalism and. Well, this is just kind of the way it's been, so this is the way it's going to be.
Eastern Western philosophy clashing.
100%. I think that's, if not all of it, I think that's a lot of it. It's interesting because, like, again, all this is for me. I feel like secondhand.
Yeah.
Right. Because like I said, I never personally got messed with, in a serious fashion.
Yeah.
Being half Middle East or whatever. I saw my dad get pulled over by the police and yanked out of the car, and the car searched and this and that, and whatever, and getting heckled and yelled at and called all kinds of names and stuff just because he looks a little different, because they're the bad guys.
Yeah, exactly.
They're the bad guys. No, it's not.
Not
that ain't quite how it works.
Exactly.
It's what I always found interesting was how he came over to America. And this isn't really like how I see myself, but it's more of an interesting piece of history.
Switch to Shopify.
How do you do it? All right. I'm sorry. I was
no, you're good. He actually, so a lot of people, I guess maybe don't know, is when Hussein was in power. he would have people go to all the schools and like recruit kids to be in his little army.
Mm.
Yeah, and if you didn't agree to it, we're just gonna make you do it.
Wow.
Yeah. So whatever age they start, he was probably 15, 16. And they kept, oh, you're gonna come, you're gonna join this and that. And he's like, no, I don't want to. I just want to finish school. So one day they said, all right, you're coming with us. He goes, no, I don't want to. You're coming with us, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
And so he literally had to fight these guys, wrestle away from him because they were just going to take him out of the school and force him to be a soldier for this man running the country.
That's crazy.
So he runs. Long story short, he runs home, tells his family, hey, such and such happened, blah, blah. They literally just packed up what they could carry and ran to Greece. They just took off to Greece.
That's crazy.
Yeah, took off to Greece just like that. And if they hadn't, I probably wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Because my dad has told me stories of
what happened to other kids.
What happened to other kids, friends of his that went missing for months and then came back and they were messed up in the head. They weren't the same person or they were physically disfigured, I mean, obviously that I translate that to they were tortured.
Yeah.
They were, put under some sort of torture or
they
experimentation.
Were forced to do things that, because you're a soldier, you're like killing people. You know what I mean?
You're doing things you don't want to do at that point.
That might fuck with you psychologically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, I mean, they ran to Greece. He worked. They saved up money and he came over. He was 17, never finished school, nothing. But it's just, like, and I look at that and I'm like, okay, I don't necessarily consider myself Middle Eastern, but that's my history.
That's where you came from.
That's where I came from. That's the kind of, background I came from.
Yeah.
And like hearing about like his village and how the villages were separated, it's almost like you could almost call it like different neighborhoods, different hoods or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? A village had the people that whatever they were known for. Some were good at farming, some were good at baking, some were good at different stuff. I guess the village he was from, funny enough, they were known for being like a warrior people.
Wow.
Yeah. And the way that the village was made was into the base of a mountain. So, like different dictators and just people and Taliban, whatever, when they would go around the country trying to recruit and basically like raid villages, they could never get this village. And I was like, I can't believe this is. There's not. I was like, Pops, there's no way you're making this up. He goes, no, why would?
But it's not naturally fortified because of the mountain.
Yeah, he goes between being in the mountain and just being a historically strong village and strong people. He goes, we were never claimed by a dictator or an organization. I was like, it kind of hit me the day he told me that. I was like, there's a lot more to my history than I've ever realized than just, half my family's from overseas or whatever.
Exactly.
So it truly is interesting. And I've tried to look into it without like, digging, because I know he's probably got a lot of stuff he doesn't want to talk about.
Yeah, true.
It's very interesting.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's very, because that part of the world has always been dealing with a lot of turmoil and a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Because it has natural resources. So
that's
the
true.
Reason why, you know what I mean? Sort of like good old Africa over there. Anyhow, you got any naturally they're coming forward. You need some freedom, some democracy. We need
democracy.
You need to come give me some of that. Little healthy dose into that real quick. You know what I mean? So, one of the next ones I had on that I wanted to get on is talking about freedom of speech. See, my thing is like that people were getting mad at Tucker Carlson for even going to talk to Vladimir Putin.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They didn't want that people. Some people feel like he was a traitor, not supposed to be allowed to come back in the country, shit like that. Just for talking.
Just to go talk to him?
Just for talking to him. Just for doing the interview.
What did he talk to him about?
Obviously, some war stuff.
Yeah.
Because some wars happening. You know what I mean? But I guess some people do. It was a little bit of a softball interview. Could have been a little harder. You know what I mean? Maybe he was afraid to, I don't know, get killed because he's in Russia. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Even though he's Tucker Carlson, it would definitely be a national event if he did get killed. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, the intolerance in this country, you know what I mean, to debate or to freedom of speech, and them willing to like give up their own freedom for some vague gift of safety that they're being told to get. You know what I mean? It's like it's really killing me. You know, it's really killing me. You know what I mean? And it's really killing America, whether they realize it or not. You know what I mean? But I wanted to ask you, as far as this woke thing, you know what I mean? Like, just as a TV watcher or a watcher of media, like, do you feel like this woke thing is this politically correct thing? Like, what do you feel like it's doing to society, really, in your opinion?
And
You know what I
now,
mean?
now that's a question. It's I feel like it's good and bad. Um, and that might sound like a cop out answer.
Yeah,
I think it's good because in respects to, we all need to recognize each other as, we're all human beings, we're all equal, like nobody's, in that respect, like better or worse than
yeah,
anybody else. So, I mean, if you're just talking about that, I think it's good. I think it's not so great in terms of, um, I guess sensitivity would be the best way to put it. I can't say certain things because I might upset somebody.
yeah,
I can't speak my truth and I can't say what I want to say
exactly.
because I might upset you.
Yeah,
And I think while trying to respect other people as human beings is very important, you know, because we should, the issue isn't between each other,
yeah,
it's a bigger issue. I also think that I shouldn't be forced to not say what I want to say or, speak my truth the way I want to speak it.
yeah,
Um, I can one thing that I was kind of always like told by a friend of mine. He says, "I can't I can control what I say. I can't control how you react to it."
exactly.
So, I could say something and you could choose to react in a positive way, a negative way, or just don't react at all.
Yeah,
And I think a lot of people especially on social media, things like that,
yeah.
because that's where a lot of this kind of stuff is happening now. I think a lot of people, in my opinion, need to just choose to just not react.
Or,
You know,
or just have more like little. I want to say measured reactions to a degree, but
yeah,
like just take a breath, bro. Take a breath and don't think it's the worst thing in the world. You know what I
right,
mean? Because part of the reason why I brought it up is I had a lot of thinking about society. I think about it a lot. And first off, I want to say this one little point. I think that's because I think the two things are connected. You're not patriotism in America, to me, in my personal opinion, is at an all-time low. As far as people saying, "Hey, I love America. I'm proud to be American. I love this country. It's a country I was born in. Country I spent most of my life in. I'm proud to be an American." I feel like it's way more popular and common to be like, "Oh, America's bad. America's evil. Fuck America. If one more thing happens, I'm leaving. If we elect this person, I'm leaving." Like the whole is, I feel like being anti-America to a degree is way more common. It's way more like socially acceptable. And I think it's the same reason how, even though I'm a black guy, I have mental elasticity to assume another position. I feel like the same way how it's like frowned upon to be a proud American to a degree because of the history of America. It's the same way how white people might feel like it's I'm not allowed to be a proud white man. I can't be proud of being white, proud of being my heritage, like just because maybe some bad stuff in the past. Maybe so now I can't be proud of America. Can't be proud to be white. Can't
yeah,
be proud like no, 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 no. Are you perfect? No. Am I perfect? No. Is America perfect? No. There's people in my family that aren't perfect, and I still love them. You know what I mean? So I don't see why you can't, like, sure, there's progress to be made. There's always progress to be made, but it doesn't mean you can't take pride in where you're at. You know what I mean? And I feel like there's white people that just like they want to take pride in, all the discoveries they might have made, and inventions they might have brought to the world, their scientific contributions. You know what I mean? Their engineering, German engineering, and different stuff like that. Their straight contributions to humanity, and because of there's some slavery. I'm not saying it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
just a little
Some
bit.
slavery, but just because they used a bit of human suffering and racial things to achieve some of their greatness to a degree. You know what I mean? I understand that. You know what I mean? But you can't act like white people just have nothing to offer humanity. They're just the worst people ever. Like, come on, man. That doesn't bridge the gap. You know what I'm saying? To a degree. You know what I
Right.
mean? So The same way how black people are allowed to be proud, white people are allowed to be proud, and we're allowed to be proud Americans and fight for the country. You know what I mean? As opposed to just being like, fuck this place.
So I'm gonna kind of flip it. What do you consider like patriotism, being a proud American? When somebody says, "Hey, you know, be a patriot," right? Be proud to be an American. What does that look like to you?
Well, it looks like you have to love this country, right? So
Okay.
here's my thing. My grandmother taught me, I hate to say it again, I said it many times, correction is love, right?
Okay.
If you don't care about someone, you don't care about their outcomes, and you see them making bad decision after bad decision, and you don't care about them, then you won't correct them. You're not investing in their future. You're not going to be like, whatever, they're fucking up. I'm just going to stay away from them, whatever, you're not, you don't like, but if you love them, you're going to be like, listen, man, you should think about doing this a little differently. You should think about, because as much as that might be a tougher conversation, a tougher thing to have to deal with, it's what's necessary for the better of the person for real, because you love them. Now with this country, this country needs people to vote, to help, to say, it needs people to use their freedom of speech more than ever. It needs people to push back and call for debates. You know what I mean? It needs America needs Americans to fight for it. The country needs correction. So for you to love the country is to you to work to try to correct it in the best way, to the best way you can. You know what I mean? To be a better influence and engaging in debates and these things. So to me, loving a country means trying to help it in any way you can to become better. And the country is a big place, so feel free to start with your block and your community, and start with your city. You know what I mean? You know, Bible says, "Who's faithful in the least, who is faithful in most." So start small. You know what I mean? Just because what I was saying, I was thinking in my head before. So Western philosophy, because I see both sides, right? But it's like, so Western philosophy, traditional philosophy is family. It's where that world, your last name matters more than your first name. You got to worry about bringing shame upon the family or whatever. You're thinking more community. There's more tradition, so you're thinking more of the collective, right? So when you're getting married in that thing, it's more arranged marriages. We're putting families together. Like, it is for family and community. On that is a traditional way. Now the Western philosophy on marriage says it's about love. It's about individual freedom. What do you ever want to be, right? So, and I understand both sides. One side is like, what about the individual free? That's why there's some people that will look at what Prince Harry did, whatever the England prince, whatever, disowning his throne, fucking off road tradition to go after some woman he loves,
Yeah.
right? On one hand, it's like, bro, you're born royalty. You have a duty to, but on one hand, it's like modern philosophy is like, fuck family, fuck tradition, fuck duty, fuck lineage, fuck all of that. What I feel matters most. They me as an individual. Fuck the collective. Fuck everything. How I feel about it matters more. I want her, so I'm gonna go forget about the whole country, the whole family, the whole last name, everything to focus on. That is a selfish mindset. Though,
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like
Yeah.
on one hand, you're like, I understand you want to be an individual, but you're not. You're so that. But that's why today's society is as lonely as it's ever been. The families is as broken as it's ever been. It's because we're way more than this Western. It's all about the individual. It's all about me. It's all about how I feel, as opposed to about being about the community, being about the family, being about just being about the state. Being so that's where they bump heads. And really, I look at it like this: traditional has been here longer than this modern shit. The traditional mindset is what got humanity to this point, not this modern shit. This modern shit is really society. Little is kind of the worst it's ever been, low key. Like between mental health, people not being friends with each other, communities being disjointed, people living on their own, divorce rates. Like you name the metric that you want to judge society on, it's failing under this Western philosophy like a motherfucker on every category. Like almost every category. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know how to fix it, because on one hand it's like freedom, individual freedom. I don't want to stop you from being free to do what you want to do, but at the same time, too much individual freedom stops you from considering the collective and the people around you in the community, and leads you to, I don't know that. That's why I don't like. That's what, when I would look at these gay people. I'm not gay, but the LGBT people. I'm just saying. I feel like they make their sexuality too much a part of their identity. Like these people, sometimes they don't contribute to society enough because they're so focused on the sexual nature of. They're so focused on that, where it's like the greatest people in society that's affected society in history, does it really matter what their sex? Does that really matter though? Their sexuality? Does that really like? If Albert Einstein was gay, like does that matter? Like what the fuck? Like it's about what are you doing? What are you doing to help humanity? Like fuck your gayness, your straight. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Your whole life is about your sexuality and how you feel, and you're being gay and being accepted because you're not thinking about. You're not thinking. You don't care. You're for real. You just care about how you feeling about society. You know what I mean? So what do you think about that? The traditional mindset of family and community versus the Western thing. It's about love, individualism, and that you can see how those.
Yeah, there's the divide
You
there.
can see how, but both sides have a valid point.
Yeah. Yeah, it's honestly, I think it's tough because, obviously, as an individual, you want to be happy. You want to do what's going to make you happy. But, as part of a family or part of a community, you also don't want to do anything that would put your family or your community in a bad spot or do anything detrimental. And some people don't care. But I think it should be, honestly, a little of both. Whatever order you put it in, I feel like that's up to you. I think it should be, obviously personal freedom and happiness, but don't do anything to put anybody else in harm's way or do anything to um, make anybody else not happy, right?
Yeah.
It's very similar to like just the freedom of speech, and Bill of Rights and stuff like that. Your life, liberty, pursuit, happiness, all that good stuff.
Shame. So here's the thing. So shame and rules and stuff. That's stuff that come with traditional stuff. That's more. Whereas like Western, you shouldn't be ashamed for doing anything. You should be like, there's no. But really, at the end of the day, expectations matter. See, that's what Black people suffer from, in my opinion, is that there's such low expectations placed on us. The example I always give it at is I've always loved the English subject my whole life. That's why I could probably talk pretty well. I always loved reading the books. I've always excelled in English class. So I'm used to getting 90s and 95. Even when I was in college, I got an A plus in English. I'm used to getting good grades in English class. So this one particular year, I had an Indian lady teaching me. And I went to class, every class. I did every assignment. I read every book. I did everything she asked me to do, like I do in Omega. I love English class, whatever, did it all. At the end of the thing, she gave me a 75. You know what I mean? And I was like, what did I do wrong? Why you give me a 75? And now she was like, oh, I thought you'd be happy with that. You know what I mean? I was like, no. I'm used to like 90s. Like, what the fuck? Why can't I get it? I mean, but expectations matter. You, if I was an Asian, you would know I wouldn't win no fucking 75. You know what I mean? You would know that. But because I'm a black, you expect me to be okay with a 75.
Right.
That's like good for you. Like, you know what I mean? Like a 75. You know what I mean? Where it's like, so the expectations, you know what I mean? Like the freedom to be whatever you want also gives you too much freedom to be fucking nothing. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So you don't get no direction really. It's just do whatever you got to figure out everything. And on one hand, it's like, that's like how some people to me would benefit from it being a family business. Like, no, there's a family way we do things. There's a family way to make money. You don't got to go figure it all out.
Right.
Your dad built his reputation. Your dad's dad built a reputation. If you just fucking learn and keep it going, you don't got to start from point A. You get to build up and take it forward. You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong? Like that's like in a bar mitzvah thing, I heard like a part of the tradition is that the father's job to teach the kid like a trade or something about bar mitzvah, like to give him like means to be able to provide for himself as a part of the bar mitzvah thing. So it's like, but if I just leave it, that kid gets to be whatever he wants to be, or they're like, no, how about you do what the fuck I do? You know what I mean? Because I know how to teach it to you.
Yeah,
that just makes sense. Because that's what's keeping the family alive. Like that's how it used to just work. It just makes sense. Whereas today it's like, just do whatever you want to do, which ends up being sometimes nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
no, I agree with that. I think a lot of people, the younger generation, they take advantage of, well, my parents aren't going to push me to go to college, or they're not going to push me to pursue a trade. So they just sit at home, do whatever, become a bunch of nothing. I think a little bit of direction, or at least a little kick in the ass, hey, do something. Whatever makes you happy, do it. As long as it's productive. If sitting at home watching TV all day makes you happy, that's not going to get you anywhere in life. I think, again, cop-out answer. I think it needs to be both need to come together. You need to have aspects of both.
Yeah.
And I know, they butt heads and it doesn't always work that way, but to have, growing up especially, some direction, saying, hey, you don't have to go to college if you don't want to. You have the freedom to not go, but you need to do something.
Yeah.
Get into a trade.
Yeah.
Just go to work. Whatever you want to do, you can do it.
Be productive.
You have to be productive. You can't just sit at home and eat fucking Cheetos all day.
It's not gonna work.
That ain't gonna work out.
No, not gonna work.
And I think it can also work the other way. You have too much direction. I'm gonna tell, okay, you're gonna go to this college. You're gonna study this. You're gonna take these classes on these days. You're gonna do this homework. Then you're going to be done. You're going to have this job at this company. And if you don't do all of that in that order, you're a fucking failure and you might as well not come home.
Yeah, right.
So I think that you can go too far, right? Either obviously both ways, but, direction helps. Growing up.
Direction does help. That's
I said growing up, you got to have direction. You don't know. You don't know what the hell's going on. It's a big old world you don't know shit about.
Exactly. And speaking of traditionalism, one thing I think about all the time is the idea of the name mattering, right? So juniors and the second and the third. See, that shit used to matter a lot more back in the day, right? Whereas today I asked a couple guys because they were juniors. And both of them had sons, and neither of them named their sons the same name. And I'm like, he'd have been the third, right? That's kind of dope. He'd have been whatever named the third.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was like, nah, I didn't want to do that to him. I wanted to give him his own name. On the one hand, it's like, I understand wanting to have your own name. I understand that. But the other hand, it's like, and then one dude was like, nah, I wouldn't name my son that. I wouldn't want to be living in his shadow, have him live in my shadow or something like that. But on the other hand, it's like, what that does to you in your mind is like, in my mind, is like, especially if your dad was a great man. If your dad was a great man and like LeBron James named his son LeBron James Jr.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your dad is LeBron James. And you're LeBron James Jr. Here's a basketball.
But what happens if LeBron James Jr. is ass at basketball and he wants to be an astronaut?
He's barely.
Then he's a failure because he didn't follow after his dad. You know what I mean, though?
Yeah. So
that's a ton of pressure.
Now,
that not everybody can overcome.
LeBron James says that he kind of regrets naming his son his name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See?
You see that pressure. But at the same time, it's like his son is also some of the top picks to get drafted. So it's like, does LeBron James Jr. become as good as basketball as he is right now if his name is not LeBron James Jr.? Does he still have the same? Does he still have the same?
Right.
Feel the same need to do that?
Right. You know does he have the same drive?
Or does he have a little more freedom if his name isn't LeBron James Jr. and he ends up not doing it?
Right.
And you know what I mean, or something like that. So. On one hand, it's like, why are you so mad to have a great dad and be having? Oh God! Now people expect greatness out of you. Oh God! You're not free to be a loser. People expect great things. Like, oh, what would you rather? The opposite. People are like, no, your name is shit. Your dad's shit. Your family's shit. You're gonna be shit. You got shit. Go. Like, what do you rather? Or it said, you're great. You're probably gonna be great. We'll live for you to be great. Like which one? Like, what would you rather? People like, what do you? Come on. People are so afraid of pressure.
But that's it. I think a lot of they're afraid of pressure. They're afraid to fail. They're afraid to try something and go for it because they don't want to fail. And it's tough. I get there. We've all been there. If you say you've never tried something and failed and been afraid to fail and went, oh, see, I failed, you're a fucking liar.
Yeah, you're a liar.
You're a liar.
Yeah, here's what I'll say. It's the reason why I'm reluctant to let some people like just come on as a co-host at this point, because I know the fire I had to go through to get to this point. You know what I mean? What you're talking about is like, so the emotional assault, the confidence you have to be. So your why, asking yourself, you starting off, you worked hard on this episode. It's episode 5. You got the docket, you got the guys together, you did your thing, you put it together, you put it out. Guess what? 0 views. 0 views. You got nothing. And you did the same thing the next week and the next week. And the next. So 10 weeks in, you got fucking 5 views for 10 weeks worth of work. And you're like, why am I doing this? Should I continue doing this? The world doesn't fuck with me. Am I really a podcaster? Am I really CharlieGtv? Am I really going to keep doing this? Or am I going to do something else instead of embarrassing myself every week? Do I really believe in myself? You go out another week. I'll try harder. Still get nothing. Do you really believe in yourself? You should. Because every time you put out stuff and it doesn't get the views you want, you think about quitting to some degree. And every week you have to convince yourself not to quit. You have to convince yourself, nah, I could change this. I could improve this. I could get this better. Wait, I could try this. I could try this. I need to do this. I can invest this. I could buy this. I could try this. If you're not, or you can go, they don't fuck with me and just give up. You know what I'm saying? So, but that emotional, so right now, my level of confidence in CharlieGtv, my level of confidence in who I am has been shaken so many times. Like, no views, pussy, what you gonna do now? No views, but no one cares. Talking to no one. No one's there. No one's there. Are you sure? Are you sure you're Charlie? Are you sure? Like 130. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm showing up every. I'm sure.
So does that come from a traditionalist mindset where somebody's pushing you and kind of giving you that, or does that come from more of, like you were saying, a Western philosophy where you had the freedom to set up this podcast and to set up this CharlieGtv brand?
Mm-hmm.
Would you have done it anyway if somebody was like, no, that's not going to work? You know, somebody influential in your life, say your mom, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, are you still going to do that and break that mold even though you're being told not to? Or is it because you had that freedom and that autonomy in, you know, the Western philosophy to set up the company, set up the production, you know, set up the podcast, come out every week, and bust your ass and do it,
keep
and
failing,
right? And but that's it, and keep failing, and then having the freedom to try again, having the freedom to try again and again and again. Or does that come from you've had somebody in your ear this whole time saying, "Hey, keep trying. You can do it. You got it."
Nah, I can't say honestly. Honestly, it's probably more the Western philosophy. I mean that has that more belief that as opposed to, because traditionally, trying to get into entertainment, trying to do the is like not traditionally going to work as well as just trying to get a better job, just trying to get a better trade, to try to, like, more concrete, more, you know, higher probability of success endeavors. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to this, which to them seems like a pipe dream, seems like a little less likely, you know, because there's so many people that have tried. They've seen try to have a podcast. They've seen try to be a rapper. They've seen try to have a brand. So they're judging off of how everyone else has tried and maybe not done it and failed. So they're like, listen, maybe it's not the best investment of your time. Maybe we should think about doing something else. You know what I'm saying? So to me, honestly, it's more the Western philosophy. Just because I kept pushing anyway. I kept, and capitalism and competition. You know what I mean? Like, looking at my competition. You know what I mean? I don't know where I got this mindset from, but like I just feel like I don't have a right to be mad about my results until I'm operating at the exact same level that my competition is. And so when I have thumbnails how they have it, when my titles are like them, and my production level's a little bit better and more dynamic, and there's still way more improvement I have to do to this shit before I feel like I have a legitimate reasons to complain. You know what I mean? Like, dog, I'm doing fucking everything. Everything's in 4K, it's live, camera switching angles, live on platform. Everything is busting. Just like me and the competition are this fucking close in production level. When it's that close and like the thumbnails, everything's coming out constant, everything's busting, everything's running. But I find it hard to believe that I'm going to get to that level and not get the numbers, because the closer I've gotten now, the numbers have improved. You know what I mean? So I have so much more to improve, more numbers I need. So I see in my mind that it's like kind of possible. You know what I mean?
100% it is.
So, but I'm just saying to keep going. To keep going is not, it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? And but you have to build that. That's what that's what I would say to anybody. Just think about this. Think about the fact that every week that you continue, someone quit. Every week that you kept going, someone said, "This is my last podcast. This is my last. I'm done. I'm done." You know what I mean? Some people, and that is why it's so hard to get there, because you're paying $36 a month every month to get in a hosted. You pour more money into it. Right now, I'm paying $225 a month on this space, as opposed to an extra $1,000 I'm putting in all the equipment, all of that. How much money have I made off this podcast? You know what I mean? Fucking none. My buddy made a little bit of money, because my buddy Colin, shout out to him, I'll plug it right now. He gave CharlieGtv his very first promo code. So if you go to rainydays.org and you go buy one of his shirts, you type in promo code CharlieG, you get 20% off. And I plugged that in one of my stories And one of the people that I've been on before actually went there and actually bought a shirt and actually used my promo code. You know what I mean? So hey, at least Charlie G did something for someone. You know what I mean? I haven't gotten fucking nothing. Nothing.
You didn't get your piece of that.
I get nothing.
No. But I mean, honestly, you're right though, because I mean, I used to create content.
Yeah.
I had a podcast.
Yeah.
I had streaming that I did. It was, I mean, I'm not trying to.
Thing.
I did it was semi-successful.
Yeah.
It's and I stopped doing it, and it wasn't because I didn't want to, so the drive was still there. But I mean, it's like you were saying, you got to work harder than everybody else. You have to put in that time. You got to put in that effort. Monetary, your equipment, whatever, studio time.
It takes so much.
It's so much work.
People don't understand how much. And honestly, you was doing it with somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that honestly, it made it easier when we were doing our podcast or when we were recording our stream, our videos or our streams or whatever. But all the back end stuff, it made it so much harder. Everything that wasn't in front of a screen or in front of a microphone was so much harder because you had to coordinate schedules, or you had to, I'm free Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You're free these days. Well, I'm going to do this half of the work. You do this half of the work. We'll meet Saturday to do our thing or whatever.
Trust them to both do it and keep up to the thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's my thing. Like, I've had I appreciate my co-hosts that I have for the time I had them. You know what I mean? But the fact that when he was trying to start his podcast, like after episode 100 something around, he was asking me, hey, how do you run a podcast? How do you start up? After being on 90 something episodes as a co-host, just goes to show you how you can have a co-host there for 90 episodes but they're not making the docket. They're not editing the thing. They're not finding the topics. They're not really running the pod. They don't really know what the fuck's going on and do the shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you're just a B mic. You just show up, you do the pod. I appreciate you being there, but at the end of the day, you're not all the back end part. You know what I mean? All the back end.
And that's the hard work. This is the easy part.
Yeah, this is talking
This
to
is
my
the
homie.
easy part.
This is easy.
Now
editing this to get it dropped, getting all the clips to drop, doing all of the stuff. What I call now is the machine. I've created a machine to throw the podcast into that helps disseminate it across all this, so to get the clips. Everything. I now have a machine to that helps pump it out. You know what I mean? That's the highest part. Besides these mics, the part of my podcasting that is the closest to my competition is my distribution game. You know what I mean? My being on 7 different platforms with short form content of the podcast, and with the AI, with the clips, you know what I'm saying, dropping every single day, you know what I mean, multiple times a day. I maybe need to just increase the amount of clips, but the way I'm distributing it, the way I'm doing it, that's pretty much top tier of the podcast. That's pretty much how every podcast in the top tier would want. They want their clips on social media with subtitles, dropping every day, the best clips they can. You know what I mean? That's what they want. That it helps increase traffic. It's the whole reason why I reach my numbers. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm gonna let it go. Fuck Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. All right, my bad. All right. Yeah, forget that. All right, we're gonna go ahead and toss it to Charles. All right. Sit tight, Charles. Charles, please come in, Charles. Are you there, Charles? Come on. Oi, Charles here with the news and the headlines to keep you lot informed on what's going on in the world. You understand? Here we are, first story up here. Freedom of speech is under attack. You get me? And on the first story up here, looking at this, we got the U.S. Supreme Court is to review Florida and Texas social media laws that seek to limit the content moderation and social media companies, to see if it violates their First Amendment for their protections of freedom of speech. You understand? Because they're trying to censor people in Florida and Texas as far as the social media things go. So, you know what I mean? Supreme Court is taking a look at that to see if it does not fuck with the freedom of speech there, bro. And we know it does, because a lot of speech happens these days on social media. So if you're stopping me from chatting on social media, you're really stopping me from reaching the eyes and the ears of my peers in the country, isn't it? So you're shutting me up to a degree, man. So honestly, I think they should just fucking stop censoring people and just stop being so sensitive, honestly. Anyway, next story happening up here. Yeah, man, all you lot that force this thing down our throats and all that are real quiet right now, you understand? But we have the World Health Organization, the largest and most up-to-date global vaccine study, conducted has found a link between COVID-19 vaccines and heart, blood, and brain-related issues. Um, they've done just about, honestly, it's like 100 million people across 8 countries, you understand? And they've discovered that there's all sorts of brain neural deterioration, different heart problems, you know what I mean? Different athletes dropping dead of heart attacks and blood clots and all that. And it's honestly now being contributed to the COVID vaccine that they were just a second ago calling you a Nazi for not taking and out like you want to kill grandmothers and all that. But all of a sudden they're real quiet now that they understand that it is causing major health problems. And the last story here, but not least at all, we have the man here who's killed the president here, you know what I mean? But you've got his family member here doing his best to run for president here this year. And apparently he's dropped out as an Democrat and he's running as an independent. And he's still gaining massive numbers and everything. So I'm going to play his video here as he's trying to run for president, man. So here we are.
The gap on both President Trump and President Biden. And in fact, I'm leading them both among all voters under 45 years of age. But high poll numbers don't mean anything unless I'm on the ballot on election day. So to get there, we need 1 million signatures across 50 states. We're gearing up a huge grassroots effort to accomplish that, and I'm happy to say that the fight is going very, very well. But to win it, we need a lot of money. President Trump and President Biden are already on the ballot, so they don't have to pay for it, but I do. And so we're asking for 100% participation from all of our supporters. When the basket goes around in the church, some people give $100, some people give $5, but pretty much everybody gives something. Well, if we're going to restore our democracy in this country, we need the same kind of 100% participation. And so I'm speaking to you right now, to those of you who haven't donated yet, or maybe you haven't donated this quarter. Please help us reach this 100% mark. Thank you so very much. It means a lot to me.
Yeah, man. It's just like she's running for me, you know what I mean? And honestly, an independent president, I think, would do a lot to encourage other independent-minded voices to try to run for president. Because, this two-party system, honestly, in my opinion, it's not really doing much for us all, you know what I mean? So good luck to them. Hopefully it all works out and all that. For more information on these headlines, feel free to do your own fucking research. And with that, back to you, Charlie. Thanks, Charles. Thank you, Charles. I appreciate it. Yeah, you guys remember, do your own fucking research. What the fuck am I talking about? Who am I? All right, go look something up. If you disagree with it, go do your research then. All right, go make your own mind up. All right, you goddamn Willie. All right. So yeah, brand building segment here. We get to talk about what we doing to build our personal brands. My guy Jajo here. I'm trying to see how I can bring him up here. I'm trying to see. You do have an Instagram, don't you? For that.
Not a personal one, but yeah, for the brand. Yep.
For the brand, yeah. You want to help me try to get it in here?
Yeah, I can do that for you.
Gotta lean up a little. Yeah, my guy here, like I said, he's a tinkerer by nature. You know what I mean? He doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? He be making it happen out here. You know what I mean? He's good at what he does. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let me follow my guy over here. All right. Go follow him.
It's all little baby stuff. I'm just getting it started. Hey. Just a couple of things.
Yeah.
So nothing crazy yet. Still working on the whole getting in front of people part of it, right? Yeah. Doing stuff behind the scenes. I'm getting that taken care of first.
Yeah.
Still trying to get in front of folks.
Yep.
So
it's a journey. You know what I mean? Business is there's the product, manufacturing the product, then there's the marketing and selling and packaging of that product.
Yep.
Then there's the customer relations and advertising, and there's a lot when you deal with business. You know what I mean? So I feel like you're working on the most important part, which is the product, the manufacturing part. I mean, getting your mind around what you want to do with it. You know what I mean? Before you start shoving it in people's face and trying to charge them $1 billion.
Yeah, I gotta have something to shove into their face.
Exactly.
First,
Exactly. You know what I mean? So I respect that. As opposed to people being money hungry from day one. Listen, I got duct tape and a lot of hope. All right, now pay me money. You know what I mean? So shout out to homie with the Steel and Stain, man, busting it out, man. Michigan, Mitten May, baby, it's Mitten May. You know
so it's all Steel and Stain now.
All Steel.
It's all Steel and Stain. It's no more Michigan Made, man.
No Michigan
Made. Yeah, I had to give that one up.
It's a lot of people probably ran on that, but Steel and Stain.
Yep, Steel and Stain.
Steel and Stain. I respect it. I respect the hell out of it though, because it is the mediums you're working with. A lot of metal with welding, and you also had these wooden things. You know what I mean? So it's well represented.
I'm trying to products and services. Honestly, products being a combination of metal and wood.
Mhm.
You know, trying to focus on the history of Motor City. So I use, recycled and reclaimed car parts when I can,
Yeah.
in my projects. And then also services too, custom made like furniture pieces
Mhm.
or repairs to existing, pieces of furniture, for example.
Yeah.
So stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm
Absolutely.
shooting for.
100%. That's dope as hell, man. That's dope as hell. You know what I mean? So go support my guy, man. Go follow him. You know what I mean? And you never know. You might need some stuff done. You might need something stained or painted. You know what I mean? He's quite talented. You know what I mean? He's working his way up to taking over the game. You know what I mean? So go support my homie for sure, for sure. You know what I mean? But yeah, um, Charlie GTV. You know, I'm not. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right, man. I like to celebrate the fact that I've hit my goal for this month. You know what I mean? Of 100,000. I'm at 102,000 across all the joints. You know what I mean? So have a little applause on that real quick. Get a little drink. Cheers to that. Yeah. That was a lot of hard work. A whole lot of posting. I can't even tell you how many times I posted this month because it's ridiculous. I post so many times every day. Sometimes I watching the clips and I fucking forget that this clip ever existed. I was talking about this. When did I post it? When did I edit this? Because when you edit 40, 50 clips in a row and you're posting everything and you go on another, it all just blurs together. You know what I mean? You don't really remember a lot sometimes. You know what I mean? Then you go watch it. Like, what the fuck? Which is crazy. You know what I mean? So yeah. My goal next month is another $100,000. I wish another 100,000 views. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to do it without YouTube, so it's gonna have to be another extra 30,000. You know what I mean? Added on to there. And my plan for that is honestly to use a lot more comedy on Instagram. The comedy seems to work very well on Instagram, so I'm gonna continue to use it. Um, and just do more comedy and release it across different platforms. I'm gonna pay for a little bit of promotion. I can't afford much, but I feel like Facebook and TikTok do the best. See, because what you want is followers. Because when you get followers that like your content, they follow you, that'll raise your base level view count. You know what I mean? So when I spent money only twice on TikTok, like promoting the video, I went from 80 followers to 145 followers. And you don't you don't pay for followers. You can't pay them to follow you. All right. You pay for them to see the video. So they still gotta see it, like it, fuck with it, go to your profile and click follow. And that happened a lot on Twitter. And it also happened a decent amount on Facebook. So to me, it's like I went like January I had like maybe 3 followers on Facebook. Now I got like 22. So I'm like, all right, if I spend a little more money on Facebook, almost every time I spend an ad on Facebook, I get like a follower or two, or it gets like 1,000 views, mad engagement. You know what I mean? So I think it's worth it over time. You know what I mean? Worth it because I'm building up what was supposed to be. I really want YouTube to get its act together because I need the whole thing I'm supposed to be building up towards this 90-day campaign between August 9th and November 9th because you need 3 million views in a 90-day period to get monetized on YouTube. So I was going to build up a whole bunch of content to start busting and getting it done. And in between now and then, try to build subscribers, build followers, build as much of a fan base as I can to give me a good baseline for the massive content output I was going to do for those 90 days to get the 3 million views to get monetized finally. You know what I mean? But now YouTube is giving me so little views that I feel like I would need to release literally 3 million videos in 90. And even then, literally, I think I might not hit it. Like, because they have so many videos of mine getting 0 views or getting 1 view, I think if I literally release 3 million videos, I might not get 3 million views in 90 days, which is ridiculous. That's how I'm feeling with this YouTube channel shit right now. It's really crazy. You know what I mean? So hopefully they get their shit together. You know what I mean? But for now, what can I do but keep swinging? You know what I mean? I'm still waiting on my tax money. I have not gotten it back yet. You know what I mean? Another recent development. I'm gonna get a new car, and the reason I'm gonna do it, hear me out. I'm just giving y'all some knowledge, all right? I learned about a 401k loan, all right? Black people don't be knowing about this, right? So I learned that I could take about $5,000 out of my 401k right now, and I'd have to pay it back to my paycheck, really. But really, when I pay back that loan and I pay back that interest, I'm paying it back to me. You know what I mean? So my 401k, when I'm done with it a year from now, is going to be more money than it would be if I didn't do it, because I paid back the money I took plus interest, and it all went into the damn account, plus the money that was already going to the account throughout the year. You know what I mean? And I got a new car out of it. You know what I mean? So to me, it's kind of a win-win as long as you hold on to the job for the next year. You know what I mean? To pay it back, then you're right back where you started, plus a couple hundred, 1,000. So it's good to go. You know what I mean? And you got a car out of it. You know what I mean? So I'm probably gonna do that for a new car potentially. You know, not a car note, just a good, clean vehicle. You know what I mean? And use the rest of my tax return to buy the rest of this. Use all my tax return because separate money to buy all the equipment I need and to fix up my home studio to get more content for you guys, right? So just stay tuned. And also, my drone right now is in the box, with like taped up, ready to go back to get repaired. All right. The next off day I get, it might be tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow, right after work, I'll go to a UPS store. I'll get it shipped off because I know drone footage. I'm about ready to buy another drone. I just hate the process of getting it repaired. I hate that I crashed it. I'm just a fucking idiot. It's the second time I did this shit. You know what I mean? I'm not a good drone pilot. I'm just new to it. I crash it. It happens. I'm gonna send it in. I'm gonna get it repaired. You know what I mean? They're really good about it at DJI. I really love them for that. But I know that drone footage is what is gonna take off when I fucking start doing. I start getting drone footage of Detroit and shit, and start going around all around the town and everything. And I capture different businesses and different forward fields and different views and stuff like that. I know that the drone footage is gonna get way more views. You know what I'm saying? And then putting music behind it, maybe some freestyles, and then like I just know I got way more content ideas to get to come out where I'm gonna get. And I got a street interview mic now. I can do street interviews. The weather's so fucking bad now. I can do street interviews. I got the wireless mic with the camera, so I can look like professional doing it and shit. So I got street interviews coming down at some point, and drone footage, and I'm gonna do skits and just the voiceovers. The content ideas I got is endless, dog. Just wait, it's coming. You know what I mean? But for now, we gonna end it off on a Freestyle Friday, on one of the more recent ones. I'll go to the popular tracks. I'll pick one of the ones that the people like. I really don't know which one to pick, honestly. But give me 1 second. All right, so y'all know how we start every freestyle. I mean, and every brand mother segment with the most recent Rhythm Wednesday. But this time I want to give y'all a Freestyle Friday. Don't worry, I'm not gonna play the whole thing. I'm just gonna play the first track. You know what I mean? It's performed well. You know what I mean? Not for nothing, but SoundCloud isn't counted in my views and stuff. But you can see this one at 236 plays. This one at 235. This one at 168. This one at 177 with some likes and reshares. 174. So my Freestyle Fridays audio onlys on SoundCloud do get plays. You know what I mean? And it probably gets about 1,000 plays a month. You know what I mean? Because if I get roughly about 250, Freestyle Friday uploads, so about 1,000 a month. That's not counted here. Also, on Indeed, one last thing on Indeed. Last month I got like close to 600 or maybe around 1,000 views on Indeed, which is also not counted in my thing. But Indeed barely counted. Why the fuck you upload? But Indeed does allow you to upload clips. Who would have thought? But now I'm on Indeed uploading clips, getting hundreds of views just because it's available. You know what I mean? So I don't know who's on Indeed, but hey, I'm there with them. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, this song right here is a freestyle off the top, and it's talking about me trying to be up there with the greats. You know what I mean? Looking at the Drakes, the Kanyes, whatever, the best people in the hip hop game, best people in the acting game, and I just look at them and I'm like, one day. So please enjoy. Yeah, you know what I do, what I came to do. No, I won't go away. Freestyle off the top. I came to say I'ma stand next to you one day. Right up there with the greats, up there with the Drakes. I'ma stand next to you one day. I'ma stand next to you one day. On my own too. God knows I won't go astray. I'll be standing next to you, standing next to you one day. On my own too, follow all my rules, cause I know what you one day. Standing next to you, I'll be standing next to you. Why they acting like the only way to make it is on fake shit? What? Acting like the only way to make it is just selling out. Acting like the only way to make it is to go ahead and do some bum shit. Nah, boy, I'll take a different route. Acting like I can't make it on my own talents way. Acting like I ain't here to disrupt the balance way. Acting like I ain't here to step up to the challenge. Wait. Niggas acting crazy, I'm like, put it on my plate. What? They don't know how many times I came and ate. What? They don't know how many times I came and grind. They don't know I look at the world and know it's mine. They don't know that I ain't come to play. I'm looking at these niggas, yeah, I'm looking at the greats. I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay. I'll go next to you one day. I'll be standing next to you. Standing next to you one day. Standing next to you. On my own too. One day. Standing next to you, I'll be standing next to him. You can fuck with me, yo. I'm a next to him, wait. I'm a best to him, wait. I'm a less to him, wait. I'ma do it on my own. I'm the best to him, wait. You just can't fuck with the way I'm finna step it. I swear to God, man, this ain't my best methods. I got more to refine. I got more skills behind me than these niggas, man. They can't fuck with my focus. Can't understand that my spirit where the hope is. They don't understand when it come to this shit, man. I'm the dopest. They don't understand. They don't understand. Baby, I'm your focused nigga. I ain't gonna play. What? When I look up at the greats, I see what they did, and I be like, okay. Okay. I'll be next to you one day. I'll be next to you on my own too. Standing next to you one day. Standing next to you one day. Standing next to you, I can do it. Ooh, I've been working, I've been getting to it. Ooh, focus on the discipline. Ooh, nigga, focus. Okay, yeah, he built to win. I'll be standing next to you one day. While she putting all that work, niggas acting crazy, nah, I'ma go berserk. Niggas acting like the only way to make it is selling out or doing gay shit. But nah, I just had to say shit. Nigga coming through, I'm way too talented, not basic. I'ma coming through this whole game, yeah, I'ma change it. I'ma rearrange it. I'll be standing next to you one day. Standing next to you one day. I'll be standing next to you one day. Standing next to you one day. Nah, man. Last week, one of the last weeks. Nah, I mean, off the tizzy. Nah, I mean, but anyway, go follow me or whatever. But I want to end on this topic here of AI. You know what I mean? This video I was watching. So recently, Nvidia stock went up again. Recently, I don't know if you know that, but they recently got an evaluation of like several $100 billion. Like, there was videos coming out that I literally were not watching on purpose because the loss was hurting me on the inside. You know what I mean? Because the headlines were Nvidia gained a Netflix in a day. What that means is Nvidia stock gained the value of Netflix stock in a day after this evaluation, which means that if you would have bought it, even when it was fucking $500, now it's $700, almost $800. It was just too painful for me to watch that. You know what I mean? I was like, damn. I had a podcast episode named Buy Nvidia Stock that came out months ago. And I didn't buy Nvidia stock when that when that episode came out, like I meat wad. And now look. And now still I'm like, sure, the price is high as fuck now, $700-800, but should I still buy now? Because AI is only getting better. It's only getting worse. You might think you're out now, but I thought that a year ago. I thought that I already missed the Nvidia, but I thought I missed it. And now boom, here's another one. So an AI I know isn't as good as it could be yet still, which means to me there's reason to believe there could be another massive jump. How do you feel about this? Another thing is this. The other stock I want to buy is Apple, because with all of this AI talk and all of this shit, Apple has been noticeably non-investing in AI yet. But all the rumors say that Apple has been doing shit behind the scenes, buying AI companies, doing mad hiring for AI positions or generation shit, like a year ago, and all the rumors and leaks say that Apple is coming out this year, finally, with Apple's version of AI. And the reason why Apple is doing it differently is because of how Apple did security. And I like how they're, so the philosophy behind it is this. So a lot of the AI we got is even cloud based. So they're using that to, which means it's like a security. So that whatever question you got, they're using the AI, their servers over there to go where Apple wants local AI on your device, which means all the computing power of that AI, everything's happening on your device. So it's protected as fuck. So that AI is really your AI. That's what Apple wants. I imagine Apple would like that AI to travel from device to device. When you get a new iPhone, your AI pops into the new iPhone like, oh, we got you. You know what I mean? Because it's your AI. Whereas the other companies are you're all using the same AI. Apple's like, we're going to give you your AI on your device for you that's encrypted with your thing for you. Because Apple's all about, the security thing to a degree. So, and on one hand, I'm like, yeah, that is definitely the best version of AI that could probably exist to have on you. You know what I mean? But once again, it goes with Apple's philosophy. Are they the first to come out with a feature? Most times not. But they do their best to do the Apple, but to make it just a little better. A lot of times, by the time they come out with it, it's better. You know what I mean? So Apple stock, I would buy it. It's not 7, it's 181 right now. And Apple didn't release an iPad all that. For the first time since iPads have been introduced to the public, 2023, Apple did not release an iPad. So the other rumors is that they're going to release new iPads this year with updated designs, OLED screens. So between the new iPads coming out this year, between Apple Watch's 10-year anniversary being this year, there's also rumors for redesigning the Apple Watch coming this year. Between Apple releasing AI technology finally on their platform with iOS 18, there's several reasons why I would say buy Apple stock now if you can before they start releasing these events over the rest of the year. Because odds are, this time next year, if it's 180 right now, it's going to be like maybe like 250, 275. Who knows? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? How do you feel about AI? How do you feel about it?
AI
and NVIDIA.
And
Like, how do you feel? Like, how do you feel about AI in general? Because it's taking.
AI.
Do you feel it at all?
Yes and no. I mean, I've messed with AI a little bit, mostly the like the mid journeys and stuff like that. More so for illustrations, pictures, things like that. Just kind of goofing around with it. I mean, it's not going anywhere. It's not going to magically just disappear. It's only going to get bigger, better, and progress. As far as the Nvidia and the Apple thing, I think you're probably, and again, I'm not a financial expert guy, but I think you're more right than you think with the Apple.
Yeah.
Because if you look, who would Apple's biggest competitor is probably Samsung.
Yeah.
Right.
Google. Yeah.
Google, Samsung.
Android, basically.
Samsung's new Galaxy, the 24, I believe it is, it has its own AI in it. So what is Apple's response going to be to that? Because that's how you have to look at it.
They have to have AI in their shit.
They have to have AI because that's now what Samsung is selling. They're selling, hey, our phone has AI.
Yeah.
And with the personal AI thing, that very much to me screams spiritual successor to Siri.
Yeah, and that's another rumor say they're gonna totally revamp Siri.
Siri can easily be revamped to be your own personal AI assistant.
Yeah.
Way more than it is now.
They already added some customization with Siri where you could change the accent or the voice.
Yep.
So you already sort of was able to make Siri your own, and now it's gonna really,
Yeah. No, I think I'm on board with you there. I think if somebody's looking for, to get on board with the tech and the AI and whatever, and invest, Apple's a pretty safe bet in my experience anyway.
Yeah.
I do a little investing here and there. That's been fairly safe. That's been fairly good to me. And I think you hit the nail on the head. Honestly, they're probably, if not this year, next year, I would think they're going to come out with something.
Yeah, the elder rumors say AI is gonna probably be the reason why I might want to get a new, because look, AI, and something else too. They're saying that AI is gonna come for like the knowledge jobs, they call it, before the like physical labor shit. Because in order for AI to fuck with the physical labor, robotics has to meet up with AI.
Yeah, there has to be something physically there.
AI is progressive faster than robotics are. robotics, the actual robot picking you up, moving around, having the gear, like the humanoid shit. It's not there yet. They're working on it like a motherfucker, believe me, but it's not there yet. Robotics isn't there yet. It's for the AI to inhabit, and so the AI can do knowledge things though. You know who's gonna feel it the most? A lot of financial analysts, a lot of but there's so many ways AI. Like for example, I've heard that there are AI. I don't know what they are. I don't know how to use them. I don't got the time. There's AI that they have that investors are using to tell them what stocks to buy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the AI, you could give it the charts, give it the data, give it the and it'll say based on this shit, you should probably buy this here, this thing, and these niggas don't know shit about. They just listen to the AI and making dough.
Yeah.
Making dough.
Any sort of analyst,
because massive
advisory,
data. And
anything with
if
data.
you think you're gonna wrap your head around all that data better than the AI is,
you're not.
You're kind of not. You're not.
You're not.
You're not.
No, anything with numbers, data, analytics,
Yeah.
it's AI's going to eat that up if it hasn't already.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, for better or for worse.
So if you upload all of your financial documents to an AI and you're like, give me a scope of my budget, what's my in and outs? Like, I can't wait till my bank or something integrates AI to really help me with my finances, or like, because you know who I was talking to AI for the first time today? Fucking Instagram. Instagram has a AI. Then I popped up in my messenger. It's like, hey, I met an AI. Yeah, consider me your assistant. And I said, what can you do? And it was like, I could look up people, a hashtag, this, give you this, that. So I was asking the first question I asked it was like, who should I tag? I was asking it for advertiser. Can you tell me who to tag to maximize traction for my urban this or podcast? He was like, yeah, you should tag this person for this for Detroit. And so it was giving me people I should tag. It was giving me I asked it what's trending on Instagram right now, and it told me the list it gave me was very like informative to it. I was like, oh, I didn't think about this kind. That makes sense that this is trending. So I was like, so just looking at it and using it to try to better understand what's working and not working on the Instagram platform, understand who I should tag, and just asking it questions. It's like being able to ask Instagram questions. You know what I'm saying? And it giving you the answer. You know what I'm saying? Like, as opposed to having to think what this guy thinks and figure out that. Like, you can just ask it itself. You know what I mean? And it's dope because it informs my future content ideas. You know what I'm saying? But AI, I don't know, man. It's scary, bro. It's scary. It's gonna take so many jobs. So many jobs.
AI is amazingly powerful and equally scary because of that.
I feel like I have to dump all of my money into AI. That's how I feel right now. On both ends.
Yeah.
On the front end with me like using AI as a part of my business model on my podcast right now, I gotta double invest in that and AI because it's doing a lot for me. It's how I'm doing a lot of shit that I'm doing, you know what I mean? And also on the stock end, like I was trying to get into Apple or Nvidia. There's a couple other AI stocks that are a little smaller that like TSMC, some of the chips things, or some of the other companies you could get into that also are some of the backbones of the AI industry. But I just see it taking off. It's inevitable. Like, I feel like you could have maybe ignored crypto and survived in this market. You could have maybe ignored the .com era version. I feel like if you ignore this AI shit, if you just keep living your life and acting like AI don't matter, AI is gonna come and run you the fuck over. I don't think AI is something that's gonna like not be a factor in your life. You know what I mean? Like, I think AI is different. See, crypto to me, yes, it was an emerging market. Yes, it made many people millionaires, but it didn't. The average person could ignore crypto and live a pretty much like not have their life change that much. AI ain't that. AI is not that. AI is not social media. When social media came around, the people that got into social media first made millions of dollars for building their social media. You know what I'm saying? And some people that just said, "Fuck social media, not gonna deal with it." Their lives they were affected maybe in a dating and some things and social media, but not. There's some people that generally live outside of social media and they're doing just fine. You not gonna live outside of AI, bro. I promise you, whether it's through your social media infiltrates you, through the banking app, like I'm talking about, infiltrates you, through TV suggesting you what to watch next, the AI suggested things to watch, through you watching a TV show and having AI generated Like AI, you gonna interact with it in some way. You could have not interacted with crypto. You gonna interact with AI in some way.
You already have. I mean, at that point, you already have, like you said, with a Netflix or a YouTube or whatever.
You're gonna interact.
There's not some dude sitting in a cubicle looking at everything you've ever watched and picking a list of videos to send you. Yeah, that's what it is.
That's why I said it's affecting. You're not gonna get away from this.
You're gonna interact with AI, and then we're gonna all end up like fucking Wall-E in floating chairs.
My problem is this, bro. That and the fucking Neuralink shit. Did you hear the other development?
I haven't heard much about that. No,
bro,
just bits and pieces.
Bro, in the last week or two, like 2-3 weeks, they got something where now the Neuralink is #1 in humans successfully. Another thing, for the first time, they got a controlling a mouse on a keyboard. So you're controlling a moving cursor with your brain on a control that is like a real life thing that is fucking happening.
Absolutely,
people
not.
Are moving around a mouse and clicking on shit with their brain.
That's that shit. We're gonna end up like Wall-E, man.
Bro.
We're gonna all be 400 fucking pounds moving around a mouse on Pornhub with our minds. While robots are cleaning up mountains. No, hell no,
bro.
Hell no.
Like, but my thing is this: as far as like I talk about female competition, right? I was making a joke the other day because I was tired. And I was here and I was like, I should do cocaine. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm not gonna do it, but I'm looking at my competition. My competition is the white man. The white man would do cocaine. I'm like, he's willing to do anything it takes to fucking make it. That's why he's willing. Here I am. I'm not gonna do cocaine. That's why you're not gonna make it. Man. No,
you're not gonna make it because you're not doing hard drugs.
I'm joking. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying that to say now the Neuralink is that verse. So my competition, he's gonna get the Neuralink. It's gonna be like the Matrix with the I know kung fu. I know he gonna upload data and be moving shit around and with his brain and shit. And I'm sitting here like trying not to get a brain implant. And I'm like, why can't I beat this guy? It's because he's a fucking cyborg. You know what I mean? And it's like, dog, he's gonna have AI integrated in this shit. He gonna be fucking He gonna be asking the questions in the head and getting answers. He gonna be his intelligence I'm gonna be like, Jesus Christ, if you had an AI in a Neuralink, bro, and you could think instead of Googling something, you could think Google, like ask Google, and it pop up in your head, and you just got the internet in your brain. You could just walk around and just know shit. You could just look at shit, ask image verification, or look at your eyes to see. You can't compete with that nigga. You can't compete with that nigga.
No, you can't compete with Cyborg.
You can't compete with him. Like, and I don't want to have a brain chip, so I guess I'm just fucked. I'm just fucked.
Yeah, might as well just pack it in now. Pack it in now. Because you're not getting a brain chip.
I'm not getting the brain chip. And you're not. So that's how I feel like I need to just invest all my money in the people making brain chips. If Neuralink is I need to buy them stocks. I need to buy NVIDIA, invest all the money I can while me working still matters. All right? while I can actually make money while me working still matters, right. I need to take all my money and invest in AI. That way, by the time it comes to take my job, I'll be like, all right, I got making a little money off AI. So like, all right, bro, because that's how it feels to me right now. They coming for even this job right here. They're gonna have AI generated fucking podcast people and fucking voices and who like. And you know something? You think you give a fuck. But I asked my little sister this question, who just turned 13. I said, would you follow an AI music artist like on Instagram if they were like good enough? If they were good enough and I like them, yeah. So you maybe have a preference on I'm only gonna follow a human. I'm not gonna be like a fan of an AI. Like I'm not gonna I fuck with human art, not AI art. Like really, like unless it's a human. Like you might feel that way. Next generation, they'll follow AI person that literally doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like be a fan of a fucking Beebo Bebop. Like what the fuck? Like,
right. They're gonna go to a concert and it's just a computer screen sitting there.
Yeah, or hologram or like fake androids doing like robot dances, doing the robot. like what the fuck?
But I mean that's the scary thing, is they're already doing that shit. I mean they've been doing like, you know, it's election season. They've been doing fake AI ads and fake AI scams.
That's nothing to do the deep fake shit. Don't get me started on that shit. People having videos of you doing shit you didn't really do that are almost hard to tell. And Like
how are you supposed to even live life now if a computer can put you into a murder scene, make it look like you killed somebody?
video evidence
Now
used
you're
to be like used to mean something.
Yeah, that
You know what I
used
mean?
to be
We
like
caught
the
you on
cream of the
tape.
crop.
Oh, we got me on tape. Oh fuck! You just be like, you just be like, well, you got me on tape. It's done. It's
You got
done.
me,
All
I'm
right,
done.
I'm guilty. I did it. All right, fuck it. But now it's like, well, is that tape real? Is it AI generated?
Yeah.
Is that a deep fake tape? Well, what kind of tape is it? Now,
You don't know. I mean that's the dangerous
so
part.
how can you convict anyone beyond a reasonable doubt? Because AI,
you almost can't use tape
you
anymore.
can't use reasonable, because reasonable doubt is like AI creates a lot. There's a lot of reasonable doubt with how much AI should be able to generate shit. Like you have to convict someone beyond reasonable doubt, and the doubt is always going to be reasonable with this amount of technology, bro.
Yeah.
The doubt is always like, yeah, but they could be bullshit, and you never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
That deep fake stuff, that is so fucking. Oh my god, that shit is scary, man. I mean, look, they even some asshole went and like made deep fakes of fucking Taylor Swift. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe.
Oh yeah,
The queen of the NFL.
It's the second of the fappening. Just wait, stitched on all types of bodies. it's the second of.
It's coming, man.
I'm telling you,
it's crazy.
I'm just saying, AI is affecting there was a fake Drake album that was all AI. And let me tell you something, I listened to it. Fire. Fire bars. Fire. I was like, Drake can't spit this hard. I was like, fire bars, fire. And I'm like, if I was Drake, I would be throwing a temper tantrum in my mansion. I'm like, are you kidding me? I can't rap like that, and I gotta drop an album back. I'm a real Drake. That's why they literally made laws after that happened. They literally made laws about AI impersonating like people, like, because I own my likeness. You can't just copy me. You can't just do that.
Yeah, well, you have to.
You know what I mean? So
because then you're gonna get
literally
AI Drake.
Because that Drake album was too good, and some random white boy was like, I'm making Drake, and generated fucking and made it happen.
Yeah.
And literally got like millions of views. It's like crazy. You know what I mean?
It's the wild west of AI right now. Artificial intelligence. We're at 1892 artificial intelligence.
I'm telling you, we're gonna be back to organics. Remember the organic people? You know what I mean? And then there was other science developments where they finally got. So they made an artificial womb. That was the first thing created.
Mm-hmm.
Now they've made artificial sperm that are copying human. So like, what is the definition of a human at this point?
Right.
Because that might be the answer to the robotics. What if I get the brain chip, and instead of worrying about making a robot that works, I'll just make an organic fleshy body that is basically a human, insert the brain chip of the AI, and boom, the robot's going to work like a human body does. But then so then it's like, well, then these people are walking around trying to run for office and shit. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
You know what it is? It's the plot of Fallout 4, man. It's synths, man. Synthetic humans.
Yeah. Is it like
they're gonna start replacing people?
Yo, and they already say that with Joe Biden. I'm surprised, but he still be fucking up. I don't think.
Well, no,
his clone is retarded too.
Right. They fucked that clone up. They're gonna start replacing people
already say
with
that.
fake robots.
And sometimes
man.
these rumors be later on be like, yeah, that was a clone. You know how many clone rumors there are right now? Yeah. And every year it's becoming more and more legitimate that it's possible. Before you know it, it's like robots and clones, and it's like, oh God, this world we're heading into is literally a sci-fi world.
That's what it is.
We're
man.
literally going into a different time in human existence, and at this point, if an asteroid wants to come,
you know what? I've had a good run.
You know what,
Let
man? I'm mad though, because I feel like every generation they got to fuck up. They had a good 40 years. They got to get old and fuck up the world. Now, as soon as I'm just figuring this shit out. And y'all really try to do world wars and blow up shit and make AI take over everything and just turn the whole market of Americans on a down spiral, no freedom of speech. Y'all just fucking up everything. Soon as I'm finally about to get into some life, yeah, about like fuck you, fuck it, like fuck all of you, like just done, like Jesus, man. But anyway, man, listen, I appreciate you coming out.
Absolutely, man.
So every episode is a time capsule. So I got two questions. One, what is some advice you would give to your 20-year-old self?
20-year-old me, I would tell 20-year-old me, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Go for it. Simple as that.
All right. You heard it here first. All right. Now, Every episode is a time capsule, and I wish you a very long, long life. And one day you're going to be 70 years old, 75 years old, talking shit like, hey, I was talking my shit in 4K and 1080p out there. I was younger out there. Let me show you young whippersnapper something. You know what I mean? So what is a message you would like to have for old 70-year-old Jajo watching this video?
For old me.
Old Jajo.
I would tell old me, we had a good run, and if you can't take care of yourself, pull the fucking plug.
Damn.
If someone's got to change that diaper for you, it's time to pack it in. Call it a good run.
Damn. He's keeping it honest, man. Well, thank you for coming, man. Listen, man. Y'all already know, man. I'm working hard to try to continuously improve this podcast until it's the best it could possibly be. That's a commitment you got from Charlie G. And look, there's a lot of places your ears could be. I'm honored they chose to be with me. When in doubt, use calm honesty to express your vision. And most of all, thanks for listening.